spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you? Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me today, as always, is
Trevor Jensen.
and our special guest, Spirit Stalkers.
Hello.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hello.
So, where are you guys from? Let's just start there.
Noah, tell him because I forgot.
We're from the Hoosier state of Indiana.
All right, so our southern brothers.
Yep, this is exactly
Very nice.
exactly right.
Very
That's
nice.
right.
Oh boy.
I guess where I would want to go into
Yeah.
is what got you guys into doing paranormal? Was it childhood experiences? Was it, you just found yourselves having paranormal shit happen all the time? Or was it just a spur of an idea between the two of you?
Go ahead, Noah. That's all you.
So, as a child, my dad is a very big historian and like history buff, and he actually loves ghosts. He's the one who introduced us into like the ghost shows and whatnot. And I think when I was 4 and Jake was like 7 or 8, we got taken to Gettysburg for the first time ever. That was like my first big trip. I'm sure it was for Jake as well. I'm not sure, but we went to Gettysburg not knowing what we were going to get ourselves into. We were little children, so it was like Disneyland basically.
Oh yeah.
But
Sure.
one of our last days in Gettysburg, my dad took Jake and I to the haunted orphanage, which is run by Ghostly Images of Gettysburg. Yeah, very haunted place in Gettysburg, one of the most notorious places as well. And we did a ghost tour, and in the basement, that's where most of the history was taking place in the orphanage. A lot of cruel things happened down there. And during the tour guide turned the lights off, and right to my right, there was a shackle that was used to torture children right beside me.
Oh shit.
The original one from the Civil War. And when the lights went out, I was a little kid, and I heard what sounded like a child crying and screaming right next to me. And that freaked me out a little bit.
Oh
And
yeah.
luckily we were recording, and that was what jumped us and jumped myself into the paranormal.
Damn.
That's craziness.
That's pretty crazy. So you said that your dad brought you guys. So like would you say your parents are pretty into that stuff too? That like they had the itch as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because my dad, every vacation or family trip we would go on, like leading up in our life, it would be a history related or ghost related, like Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina,
Oh,
all
hell
those
yeah.
crazy places. Dude, it was every trip. There wasn't one trip where it was like, oh, we're going to the beach, we're going to Florida. Nothing like that.
No,
was
it's like
all
come
history
check
and all
this shit
ghosts.
out.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Hell yeah. Seeing like my dad didn't tell me that he had any type of paranormal experiences until I was like 20. And then he was just like offhandedly told me some really fucked up shit that happened to my mom and him while they were staying with my uncle. And then the house that they were staying in that my uncle owned, they ended up selling it, and then it went back to the people that were selling it, like the real estate company or whatever, and they were like, we're not buying it, it's haunted. Like there was death in the house, like rooms would stay 70 degrees even though in Michigan it gets like -10 out. Like
Oh
it
my
didn't make any sense if they didn't heat it. So like there's just a bunch of stuff that went into it. So he just
Yeah.
offhandedly one day just mentions that.
We've
and I was
done
like,
that
"What the
same
fuck?"
thing with our actual house because our
Really?
house is haunted, and then the more we got into the stuff, and we started to like. Honestly, one of the final, there's a few final straws. Before we started our channel, one of them was our house and some of the experiences we were having. And then so we told them about him. It was like, do you think this is haunted? Because we've lived here. I'm 22. I've lived here my entire life. And so then we confronted them about it, and they were like kind of offhandedly, they would tell us these random things that happen
Right.
that are pretty crazy stories just randomly throughout the day. So they were keeping it from us for a little bit there, but they told us now.
Yeah. So on your TikTok, I seen your dad caught a like basically a full body apparition at a library once, right?
At the museum, yes, that's at our museum
Damn,
here. Yeah,
that's
dude.
fucking awesome.
He volunteers there. That's the Huntington County Historical Museum, in our hometown, and he volunteers there and does kind of like the electrical stuff, a lot of things with apps and the cameras,
Mhm.
and so I guess he was there doing some work. And there's kind of two main segments. There's like a main room, and then there's like a double door, and there's a big, huge like mix of a conference room warehouse type thing with a bunch of other stuff. And that's where the figure was caught. He was way over on the other side in the offices, and he got a notification saying that there was movement captured on the cameras. And when he looked at it, that's what he saw was that figure.
Wow, that's so
Not
wild.
like library isn't really a place that you would expect like hauntings, but I mean it makes sense too. Like people spend tons of time in the library reading and researching things, so it makes sense that someone would find themselves locked
Well,
in.
and one of our theories is that it's haunted because it has all these artifacts in it, and there
Right.
could be an attachment to an artifact. And truthfully, that's really the only theory we have because there's almost no history to that land itself. There's not
Mhm.
any real stories about what was there before. The building isn't old. It's just the stuff in it is really old. And so
That
we
makes
think that
sense,
that could be
yeah.
why. Yeah.
Yeah, we always say, like, it's hard to say what causes a haunted location to be, because
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't make sense, like, I'm in a Walmart and some weird shit's happening, like, why?
Yeah.
Well, it could possibly be that, like, before they built on the land, like, it was Native American land, or even farther back, like, you don't know, like, if there was some
Because
type
that
of
house is there.
significance. Yeah.
Well, in our area, the Midwest, kind of like Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, lots of Native Americans were
Mhm.
here. And so that's it's honestly Native Americans are, in my opinion, the reason why most things in our area are haunted. I really think that. There's all kinds of houses, schools. One of me and Noah's inside jokes is that when we first started looking for places to go investigate, one of the places that came up was Walmart. And so exactly what you're saying. And so
That's funny as hell.
and that's up in Fort Wayne actually, and I think the reason is because um, there was a fort there. There was a lot of
Mhm.
um, military movements, Native American skirmishes, and I think that something must have happened there. And now the Walmart's haunted. So
Hell yeah.
Right. And
So it's funny that you guys, like, say that because, to segue just a little bit, so do you guys believe in the Wendigo and how, like, it's said to be like, a Great
yes,
Lakes, like, creature and whatnot? I
dude, the
am
Great Lakes are messed up.
I am almost positive that I had an interaction with one this weekend.
No, no, this weekend.
Yes. This past weekend, I'm almost positive I did.
Oh my gosh, dude,
So
do tell what happened.
I'll break it all down. So we went to Ghostorama, which was at Eden Springs Park, which was a House of David down in Benton Harbor. And they decided that we were going to be able to lead an investigation at the end of the night. Well, 53 people showed up, so we led a group of 20 people. Well, unbeknownst to us, while we were on the investigation, we go out onto where there used to be a pond, but it's just a cement pad where their amphitheater used to be on the property. And it's a pretty big ass cement pad. Like, I'd probably have to say it's about a football field. So it's not like there's like a creek really close to it nearby anything. There's like a cement block all the way around it basically. It's in the bottom of this, like, I guess you could call it like a gully, but it's not like that deep. So we're like down there, we're doing like all of our EVP sessions, like we're messing with the Spirit Talker app on our phone and whatnot, which I don't know if you guys put a lot of stock into those phone apps. I'm wishy-washy on them too, but
Kind
it was
of.
pretty interesting because
Yeah, that's how we are. It's like it's interesting, but if something does, we use them a lot with other things, like
yep,
as
that's what we do
complement.
too.
So like with Spirit Talker, we'll use it sometimes with complement to either a music box or an EVP session or an
Yep.
S's method, whatever it is.
Mm.
And at the Demon House, we had some pretty interesting things, but yeah.
Yeah, so we had the Spirit Talker app going on my phone, and then another woman in our group had hers going as well. Well, mine's goes, I affect the animals. And I was like, the fuck? I was like, that's really weird. So they're
Nah, bro.
walking away, and then all of a sudden mine goes run. And then there goes danger. And then as soon as there says danger, they hear like like this weird like gurgly screech in the woods, and they're like, "Fuck that!" They came right back, and like all of us heard it too. Like I had like 20 people around me that go, "What the fuck did you? What was that?" And I was like, "That's not a bullfrog. Like I know what a bullfrog sounds like, and we're not
Yeah.
anywhere near water." So we do the rest of the investigation down there. We're getting hits on the like our milligauss spikes and everything. Like everything is going off like normal like investigation stuff. We're getting like little blips and blops here and there. But as we're walking out to go back up towards where we started, there's this fucking crawfish, and I shit you not, it was like this fucking big. And I was like, I don't know why there's just a fucking crawfish here. Like I haven't seen one of these in fucking 10, 20 years. So like I pick it up and it's all pissed off looking. I was like, I affect the animals, huh? Weird. Set it down. I like go about my business, and I go up to the fire next to one of the volunteers that works there. And she's telling me a story about how she was seeing this black, like big bodied, like burly entity standing on the cement slab underneath the trestle bridge where they have their train that goes by and whatnot, and they do like rides. And it fucking gets down on all fours and bounds off into the woods. And she says that that's not the first time they've seen that. So I'm thinking, oh shit, here we go. Like, what the fuck did
Wow.
I just see? And then after that, I got fucking home, and my wife goes, all right, so like, let's go get our daughter, you know, let's fill up her little pool, you know, like, let's all hang out in the front yard. She turns the Spirit Talker app on. The fucking Spirit Talker app again goes Skinwalker. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And then
Bro.
I'm like, okay, this is so many coincidences just piling on top of each other.
Yep.
And then we go to bed that night, and
Shit gets weird.
I shit you not, I'm starting to think back to what the Spirit Talker app said, and it's like at one point it said stranger, it said like I'm watching you. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And then my wife, while I'm in the bathroom, sends me a video of our camera. Well, a fucking dude was looking in our windows the morning we got home from Eden Springs.
While they're in the house sleeping.
Yeah. So I'm
Bro.
like, what the fuck is happening? And I even skipped over the part where at 4 a.m. after we got back from Eden Springs, I heard the same gurgly screech at my fucking house that I heard at Eden Springs. And my wife like freaked out, looked at me, and she's like, did you hear that? And I was like, wait, you heard that too? I was like, so I'm not
Bro,
fucking crazy?
Skinwalkers are no joke, dude. Those
No,
things
hell no.
scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, so
For
that
real.
was interesting. And it was too many coincidences at once to just say that it wasn't something.
It's not funny, but it's just funny that you were like, yeah, that was last weekend.
Yeah,
Like,
it
here's
was.
what happened.
It was literally last weekend.
He's been working on
Dude.
the video for last weekend too.
Oh yeah.
So
And then I realized that because we led a group of 20 people that I have the most minimal amount of video footage.
Dude,
And I was like, oh shit.
What Tommy, I think he's in the chat. He was at Eden Springs, I think.
yes, he was.
I think he was there,
Shout out
yeah.
Tommy.
Yep,
Him
he
and
led
Blood
another
Moon.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Blood Moon was there
that
for a
must have
little
been an interesting event there.
Heck yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I'm so excited for the next one. Unfortunately, we will not be able to attend, but it's going to be at the Van Buren Poorhouse, which I hear is even more haunted than
Wow, I've
most
never heard of
places
that.
they've had it at.
Interesting. But yeah, dude, I mean, everything in that story matches with what I almost said Spirit Stalkers. What Skinwalkers do.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
was
know,
blown
stalking
away
you,
after
just
I
kind of
heard all
pretending
that.
to be someone else.
Yep.
Dude, that brought me back to a story that I've never told. And it reminded me and my friend Josh were at his house, and we decided he like lives out in the country, and we decided we were gonna tent and like camp in his front yard. So we had the tent set up, and it was like just about sunset, and so everything was kind of dim. And this was, it had to have been like early June because the fields it wasn't like tall corn, it was just like barren fields, but it was warm out, so it had to have been June. And we're getting the tent set up, you know, getting things ready to have s'mores and stuff, and we start hearing coyotes. And so as like, I don't know, we must have been 10, 11. We were like freaking out. All these coyotes are going to come kill us when we're sleeping. And so we get out of the tent
Yep.
and we're kind of like looking, and we see one, and it comes out of the field, and then it crosses this dirt road and goes into the woods. And then another one comes by, and another one and another one,
Oh,
and they all
shit.
just like single file kind of go into the woods. And so we're like, okay, we think we're good, but let's like watch for a minute, make sure that they all went away. And way off in the distance, like over by the neighbor's house, these two dogs that are chained up just start barking like crazy. And so we're like, what the hell's going on over there? We start looking, and there's this thing. It looks like a coyote, but its back legs were like twice as long as its front legs.
Oh, fuck.
And it was just like crawling along, like freaking out at the dogs. And then it ran to the road like closer to us. And we were like, we got to yell at it, like, because we figured like if you yell at it, animals get scared, they'll go away.
I love younger mind logic.
Dude, yeah.
Dude,
that's what it sounded. That's what sounded good. But so we did, and the thing like turned at us all weird, and it didn't like get up on its hind legs like they tell you in the stories, but it like, I don't know, it was like halfway almost, kind of like if a squirrel were to stand up a little bit on its hind legs,
it
type
got
thing.
bigger than what it was. And
Yes, and then it just like dipped. It just ran, but it was like running
Damn.
all weird. And so that was either what we called it was a chupacabra, or a chupacabra, but I mean the other theory is it could have been maybe an injured coyote, but I don't know because that was,
or even
it
a
was
dog
really,
man.
Yeah,
Dog man is definitely a thing.
dude. Don't even
Dog man, bro.
I haven't even thought about dog man. Dude, it could have been Spider-Man. You never know.
You know if it was on the 7th day of the 7th month.
Oh my god, I don't believe that part of that fucking bullshit.
Well, dude, especially where we live, there's a, this was a huge Indian, camp, settlement, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, all the way up until the 1880s, maybe even, even past that. But so who knows what they could have done? A lot of people say that the Indians cursed the land where they were when they were forced out. And so I don't know. It's a lot of weird stories here about Native Americans.
I mean,
so you
shit.
never know.
Like the medicine man decided to turn bad one day, and the next thing you know, you have an evil spirit that haunts the lands and
yeah,
fucks
dude.
with everything.
I think a lot of hauntings and things like that, especially like dark entities like Native American spirits and demons, it's all about intent. And if you have the intent to curse a land, I think you can do it. Right. I really do. And so who knows what they did? I don't know.
Who
fucking knows?
Something that always like
I don't want to know
is things that can lead to paranormal activity too, is like obviously like wars and things, because there's so much emotion, and emotion is energy, and it all gets transferred, whether they're battling because of pride or hate or whatever it is. Like the energy is going to be left on the land, and you're going to feel it. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're going to feel that energy when it might not be all of the time, but when the timing is right, whether it's like close to the day of battle or like an anniversary, like I feel like those days are always like the most powerful.
Dude, yeah, that just happened to us in Gettysburg, dude.
Oh yeah,
we're filming literally last week. So the anniversary is July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So it was literally a month from it. But Tom is one of our friends. He lives in the haunted orphanage in Gettysburg.
Oh shit!
He literally lives upstairs. Like that's his apartment. Super nice guy.
It's awesome.
It's hilarious that he lives there. But he was telling us, dude, the month before the battle is the most active. For some reason, it's like the month leading up to the anniversary, and then the anniversary, then it kind of cuts off. And dude, we've been to Gettysburg like 22 times. We've never heard the cannon fire, the gunshots, the screaming soldiers like people say they hear. We've never heard any of that. In fact, we have 2 whole videos at Gettysburg with almost no evidence because we got almost nothing. There was a couple things, but not our most active locations by far. But something about last week, dude, I don't know what it was. We're filming our intro, and we're here with Epic Paranormal, Eric, and we decide like, okay, let's take a picture in front of this sign, which is like right in between the orphanage. The whole town's the battlefield, but it's right between the orphanage and the actual field where it's like you can't be there past sunset. So we're kind of breaking the law a little bit because we're technically on it, but we're taking pictures.
Respectfully breaking the law.
Yes, respectfully. Exactly. Dude, you get it. That's exactly right. No, but luckily, Eric, we got our intro done. Let's take some pictures. Eric said, I'm just going to leave my camera rolling just in case. And I'm like, all right, your call. Sounds good. So we're taking pictures, and we hear this freaking blood-curdling scream, dude. And like, it was loud. It was some guy just like in pain. And it was coming from the cemetery, which has been closed for like an hour because it closes at sunset.
Yep.
And then it's illegal to be there. So there's no one there. And so we heard that, which was absolutely crazy. Then later in the week, me and Eric are doing a live stream at the college. We hear residual cannon fire.
Damn,
Like
that's
not
so
fireworks,
fucking
because there's not
cool.
fireworks. There's like a initial like, and then there's the, you know. But
Yeah.
this, it was just that was all there was, and it was like really muffled and weird sounding, like it was right next to you, but it was just like really quiet. Like,
yeah, or like it's underwater is how I like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say
exactly.
too. Like it almost sounds that muffled.
Yes, and so we heard that, and then the final night of our investigation, my brother and I went to Stacks Covered Bridge while we left Eric in the basement by himself.
Oops.
And which people can see in the documentary, which will come out here in a few weeks. But
so fucking excited for it.
dude, it's our finale. It was emotional, but that's the final thing. Is we went to this bridge. First thing we hear when we get there is like a volley of musket fire, and then a return volley that was closer to us. And again, it could have been fireworks. Like, I get it, it really could have been, but this was 3 a.m.
Yeah, I mean,
and
what
we're a
is the
month away.
likelihood,
We're a
though?
month. We're a little bit like a month and a week. So we're 5 weeks away from Independence Day, and we're
Right.
hearing fireworks at 3:30 in the morning. Like, it
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Fireworks illegal there.
Yeah,
Up until
exactly.
then,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you can. There's like a week span where you can shoot them
Yeah,
legally,
it's like
and then
it's
it cuts
near
off at like
Michigan,
10
so.
p.m. So it's
Yep.
not like, you know.
Exactly. That's what's like. I always come at it skeptically because you don't ever want to say it's definitive, but
Yeah, and it's not definitive, but like, you know, when it starts
Still.
adding up, it's like,
yeah,
okay.
when you start getting like, oh, well, we heard this. Okay, well, it makes sense. Like I can correlate back to where we are. Oh, well, in historical events, like this literally was a battlefield where they were shooting muskets at each other.
Yep.
I wonder.
Not only that, but you have literally over the course of 3 days, 10,000 people dead.
The bloodiest battle in American history.
Still, to this day,
To this day.
Yes. And you have over 130,000 people were there fighting. Think about, and I don't know the exact estimate, but there's like an estimated 5 million bullets that were flying through the air over the course of the battle. 5 million? Like, that's gotta leave something.
You're walking
And
over all of those.
To think people
Yes,
actually
yes.
lived through that. Like, there were
Dude.
people that didn't even
Oh,
get shot,
God.
and like
the guardian angel sitting on people's shoulders that day is insanity.
Dude, there's a story that I love. I cannot find it for the life of me, but
Don't you love that?
Yeah, dude, I hate it. But Pickett's charge, which was the final attack at Gettysburg, the final ditch attempt to knock the Union and, you know, win for the Confederates. Which you know, there was a peace letter ready to be put in Lincoln's desk. So if they succeed, we could have 2 countries today, maybe more.
So fucking wild.
Right.
Yeah,
It came
that's
down
what's
to
crazy
one
about
man.
Gettysburg is it came down to that moment. But there was stories of the Confederate soldiers who were in Pickett's charge, and there was a huge artillery bombardment. So the entire field is completely filled with smoke. They can't even see where they're going.
Damn.
But there's these stories. I think a couple soldiers wrote about it, but I heard it from one. And he basically sees this winged creature in the smoke, like shining light on where they should march.
Oh, shit.
And like he said, I think it said like a bunch of his people next to him got shot and killed, but he survived, and he thinks that was his guardian angel.
Sounds like Mothman.
It was probably Mothman, dude. You're right.
Or it was Butterfly Man. It was Mothra because Mothra decided she was gonna bless him.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fucking wild as shit, though.
Dude, Gettysburg is so cool. I could talk about it for days.
So,
and days.
is
I
that
love
your guys'
Gettysburg.
favorite location to investigate? Would you say, or do you have another one that tops that?
I have a
definitely
different
one of them.
Yeah,
My favorite we've been to is probably Indiana State Sanatorium, just for the vibes.
I'm so fucking jealous of you guys.
The vibes are immaculate because everything's still there. You can walk anywhere, and you could walk for days and not hit all the rooms. There's so many spots, dude, and tunnels under it. It's crazy. And so for the vibes, that's my favorite. But what's yours, Noah?
Well, Jake's never been here before. He's probably really upset.
Yeah.
But I've been to Pennhurst Asylum, just
Ooh.
myself, not Jake.
Okay,
And
I
that's
might be
definitely
more
my
jealous
favorite.
of you now.
He ditched me. He ditched me.
Yeah, so my friend's dad is like a part of a paranormal group, and he got invited by another group. They do like this cool thing every year where they go and investigate a place.
Hell
And
yeah.
my friend's dad was like, "You should come with us. It would be fun. You can meet everyone." And he invited me. Went to Penhurst all night. It was so sweet. Most active location, and it was my first time getting emotional at a location, just
Really?
because the energy is. I can't even explain it, man.
I'm
I
gonna
can't
no,
even
I'm gonna
how
cut
did
you
it
off
explain
real
it to you.
quick because he never explains it, dude. I called him because I saw him like tweet or say something. He was bawling his eyes out, like freaking out, shaking, like having a
Really?
panic. Dude, I thought he like I don't even know what happened, but I thought something terrible had happened to him. I was
So
freaking out, dude.
what pushed the button like that did it for you?
Well, there's multiple buildings at Penhurst, obviously, and then there's one in particular. It's the Devon building, and in the basement of the Devon building, there's a place called Candyland, and you could assume what would happen down there with the people, the staff and whatever at the place. They would take the
Mhm.
children down there privately, and you could assume what would happen down there.
Oh
Terrible,
boy.
terrible things,
Yep.
and the energy there hit me really hard,
Yeah.
and that's not what made me cry though, which is weird. I was like on the verge, but I wasn't like I was just like in disbelief. I was like speechless almost, one of those
Right.
feelings. And we continue with this was on the tour, by the way, and we continue with the tour. We're on like the boardwalk, seeing all the buildings and whatnot. And as we're stopped and this person's giving a demonstration of this building and like explaining the history, I was kind of behind the group a little bit. Me and my friend were, and from a distance, it sounded like at least a mile away. It sounded like a child screeching, but it wasn't like a screech like for help. It was like gargly and like crying. I can't even explain the sound. It was so crazy to hear. And once I heard that, I literally just dropped on my knees in front of 40 people and I started bawling my eyes out for at least
Damn.
an hour and a half.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah.
wild, bro.
So yeah, that's it. I heard it, boom, instantly. Tears, like my face was covered in tears.
Well, didn't other
We-
people like not hear it?
That's what I
Yeah,
was about to ask.
no, nobody else heard it except me. I was
So
the
it was
only
meant,
one.
it was meant for you to hear then.
Yes.
Yeah, you could put it that way, but
We
I don't
think
know.
he's like
I
we think he's actually empathic.
Oh
now.
yeah, I'd believe that.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
We never believed in that stuff. And we've been doing this for a year and a half. We don't
Right.
especially Noah, dude. He's always the one who's like, I'll be like, dude, did you hear that? He's like, dude, you're
It's a
making
crock
it up.
of
Like,
shit.
you don't hear anything, bro. Stop tripping out. But now here he is, and he's the one who can now go into a place and be like, all right, I'm sensing kind of like this kind of vibe. He can't like be like, oh, there's a ghost in that corner, but he can get a
I mean,
good
that'd be
feeling.
fucking sick.
That would be
My
that
ghost
would be
star
cool.
is going off.
I don't know if that's exactly what I would want. I would rather than
No, yeah,
That
I
would
think
be
I'd be more
kind of-
scared if I had that.
Yeah.
I'd be more
That might
scared if I had
that
that.
probably take a lot of fun out of it too, you know.
Oh
if
yeah.
you don't have to actually
Yeah.
like do anything to get answers, you can just see the ghost and be like, "Yo, what's up?
Like, come here, bro. We got to
Come here, man."
Oh shit, that's so funny.
So what tools do you guys like to use? You said, you like to combo things, which I think is a really good technique. We like to have
It
verification
validates.
in threes. So like we need like 3 devices to go off to like make us think that like, okay, this could be conclusive, like paranormal
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah.
What tools do you use and what do you determine is real and what you determine is maybe just
Complete fucking farces. I don't know.
Our favorite is the Sony Saint EVP recorder. Our friend Eric with Epic Paranormal, he put us onto that.
Yeah.
He brought it to the old hospital in College Hill with us, along with his DR60 recorder. And I ended up loving the Sony Saint so much. I was begging to use it all night. I still like it more than the DR60, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
at the end of the night, he just handed it to us and said, "Hey, this one's yours," because he like kind of collects them and stuff. And
That's awesome.
I think he has the largest collection of them, whatever. But he swears it's the next DR60. It's gonna go crazy. And they are insane. They're insane. I love EVPs. I always have, but I could never find a good recorder. And so our recorder that
our
we had
problem.
sucked. And so for the first year and a half, we never did EVPs. We did them in our first video, and that was first, second, and third video, and then we stopped doing it because it just wasn't worth it. It just
Yep.
wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I think we've only ever caught 4 EVPs.
Yeah, man, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know exactly when that recorder came out, but it's obviously an older-ish recorder, kind of like how the DR60 is. It's definitely newer than the DR. But dude, it's fantastic. We get all kinds of crazy responses that you just cannot explain, and I love that because then the first thing is, what do you sense? And that's where Noah comes in. Then we stop doing EVP. Then we're getting answers. We're getting voices. And then we get out the gear and say, all right, let's settle here and see if they'll use this gear. And so there's our like 3, I guess,
Yeah.
it's
There's your
like
confirmations.
yeah, exactly. That's my favorite. No?
Oh, I'm supposed to give my input. Okay.
I didn't know if like you had the same like thought process there as Jake, or if you had like a different
kinda
tool
zoned
that you
out for a
like.
second.
He's gonna be like, nah, the recorder is complete dog shit.
So my favorite tool actually isn't any piece of equipment. I love to just hear and observe the sounds that may or may not occur in the building. That's my favorite tool because usually what Jake and I do is we will walk around, get a feel for the building, walk around the entire premise, maybe sit in a hallway or something, and then if something happens, if we hear something, then we'll start pulling out equipment. We usually don't start out with equipment right away. We will wait until something happens, and then we'll start getting deeper into what just happened and whatnot. So
That's a good answer, dude. I'm so mad. That's such a good answer.
Dude, it's so
I
right,
swear,
though.
dude.
It's so right. Yeah.
No,
Dude,
he's true. He's correct though. That we
it's
we
so
kind of
hard
differ
to
from a
do
lot
it.
of groups on this because a lot of people are like, let's fill this place with 1,000,000 pieces of gear. Let's do
Right.
it. But for us, it's more like, let's walk around and just explore for about 15 minutes, depending on the size of the building. And then once we hear something, let's just sit there because that's where the activity is happening. So you're right. He's right. And then we'll sit in a hallway for like however long and just, I just love those moments where it's just completely silent and your adrenaline is like building up because it's like
it's
something could
almost
happen.
surreal.
Have you ever
Yes.
experienced that like silence that like I
Oh,
explain it as
dude, I know
dead
exactly what
silence.
you
Like
mean.
it's so silent that it doesn't even make sense in your head. You're like, why is
Yes.
there no noise? Like
That's a
it's almost
good
like
way to put it.
It's almost like your thoughts are even louder than everything else that's going around, and you're just like, I don't know if it's because it's like
It feels like you're projecting your consciousness around
yeah,
you.
I don't know if it's like a height.
Yeah, it's almost like your brain is going to the end of the hallway
Yep.
and like
Yeah.
leaving you. That's the type of, but that happened to us at Ashmore Estates actually, which we were so excited for that location. It's still, honestly, it's one of my favorites. There was just like this weird, I just got a sensation from it. I love it. Like I fell in love with it. But we had literally nothing happen. Like we had one sound during my challenge. Besides that, the entire night, nothing. No EVPs. I think maybe one EVP, but it could have been wind. Like, dude, it was so weird. And we tried so many times. Like me and Noah finally, we were there with Blood Moon. We just said, all right, we're gonna walk around, just me and Noah. Let's see if anything happens when there's just 2 of us instead of 5 of us. And so we go around, and it was that exact same feeling where it's like, it should not be this quiet. Like we didn't even hear the wind in that moment. Like there was no wind sounds.
Yeah,
There was no rattling of the window anymore. It's almost like you're in this bubble and you just can't. I don't know. It was weird, dude.
Yeah,
I almost am thankful for those kind of nights where nothing happens, because then it's like I have a good baseline now where I know if stuff is going crazy that this is not normal. Plus, it's like with that eerie feeling as well, it's like you feel the pressure around you. It's like something doesn't feel right. I know it. It's in the back of my head too.
Yep.
Like I have all of the history. Everything's sitting right here in front of me, but I just can't get to it.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like there's a lot of people that I know, even people that I'm friends with. And so if you're listening, guys, listen up. No, but
Fucking better.
They'll have a night like that. They'll have a night like that, like what we had, and you get nothing, and they won't make a video. And I tell them, guys, just
no, do
still
it.
make the video.
So
Just do
worth
it.
it.
Yes. I some of our favorite videos that we've made are the ones where we have no activity. In fact, for some reason, all the now that I'm thinking about it, every location I love is a location where we had nothing happen.
Right.
I'm story in, is like engraved in my mind for some
Love it.
reason.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Literally didn't get any. Like there was. I'm not even joking. There was nothing. Literally nothing. Like
We
our
always
entire
get like
video.
so much more loose when there's nothing going on, because then we start like getting into like the comedic
Being
flow and
ourselves,
like
yeah.
being real quirky.
Yeah,
and
dude.
it's like, oh,
In
this
that
is
video,
chill.
me and Noah played a chess game in the haunted hallway of the story inn to determine which room we would sleep in. It was hilarious. But
I love that shit. Like
yeah,
that's the fucking stuff that you don't get to see, like where it's like Ghost Hunters or like any of the big shows where it's like
yeah.
it's just so scripted. Like, so how do you guys film, honestly? Because it's hard for us to take ourselves out of being investigators first and then filmmakers on the other hand, where it's like, fuck, dude, I can't balance it some nights. And it's like, or we don't record enough because we're too into the moment. Like, do you guys find yourselves having that same issue?
No, I'm gonna let you answer first before
No,
I say
I'm
anything.
gonna let you answer this before. I
No,
dude,
dude,
I
you
don't
have
even
to
know.
go.
I have zero answer. This you don't want to pick me first.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Go ahead, Noah. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, no. I'm extremely type A, almost to the point of annoyance. Me and Noah get in a lot of debates because he's more laid back, and I'm very much. We have to do this. We have to do because I'm the filmmaker in the
Yeah, I'm,
group.
like, so
Dude, I
stoked.
relate to you, man. I relate. I'm with you. Yeah, and it's just I'm also the editor of our documentaries. He does a lot of TikToks and Noah's vlogs and promotions, things like that. But I do all the documentaries and trailers. And so in my mind, as we're why are you laughing, bro?
Dude, the funny, because that's like the dynamic here
Yeah, it's
so
the same
much.
dynamic here, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Why are you laughing, dog? What are you
I
doing?
thought you were just saying I witnessed this at Asher LMAO.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. But yeah, in my mind, I can see what we have to do to make it a good video. I can see the shots. I have a mental note. Okay, we need B-roll, we need interviews, we need the shot of this to make sense with that story for that interview. Then we have these 4 segments. We have our intro, we have our initial thing, we have this drone shot, which will go over. Like I imagine that
Hell yeah.
as we're filming, dude. And so I like mentally have all these pieces, and then Noah's more laid back, there for like a good time type thing, which I am too. But and that's not to say that he's not doing anything. It's just
So
a
would
lot
you
of
say you
times
let
we
the
kind of
camera
clash.
roll most of the time that you're investigating too? Like you barely shut it off, and then you have
Oh
hours
yeah,
of
which is
footage to go through?
annoying. Yeah,
I bet.
yeah. A prime example is what I told you about Gettysburg, where Eric was rolling and we captured that thing. Our kind of motto that we try to stick to is just always film.
Yeah.
Like document is what we say. Just document. Period. That's it. Just keep the cameras rolling. Go there and do the thing, and then the story will kind of like make itself.
That's the one thing that we need to get better at, is because we would go through and be like, all right, I have a 10-minute video here, a 30-second video here, and be like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. When I go and look, I get overwhelmed because I start to edit and I put the first clip in, and I'm like, okay, that clip is an hour and a half long.
Oh god.
And I have to make it 5 minutes. That's great.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
exactly honestly what I do. I go through the video. I literally just take as many clips that make sense and put them together so that they kind of like blend and then go from there.
Yeah, it's my editing process is very much whatever I'm feeling in the moment. We have obviously a style because
right.
You tend to edit kind of the same way, but
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people have like a workflow they go through, but pretty much I get the first clip in, I look at it, and then ideas start coming in. So I just start
it's like a ritual. Like that's how I feel. Like whenever
Yeah.
I edit, it's like I'll do the first thing I do is get everything into the fucking hot bar where I can just start pulling out. So it's like, all right, like here we go. Like at least it's all in there, so I can't be like, oh, I missed something because it wasn't there. So
yeah, and that being said, about Noah and I, we try to keep everything 50-50 as close as possible as we can. And so like there'll be times where I'm like, all right, bro, go get all the B-roll shit. Just go do the B-roll. Get that done. And then I'll do whatever, a drone shot or something, or go get an interview. And so we'll kind of split up and do the different things, and it always works out pretty good.
Hell yeah.
But
How
I'm very
receptive
much
are people usually? Like when you try to get interviews from them, are people usually like, hell yeah, I'll definitely be in a video and like I want to talk? Or are people kind of like, I don't know?
honestly, I don't think there's ever. correct me if I'm wrong, Noah. I don't think there's been anyone that is like, no, I don't want to.
No, yeah, everyone we've asked to be interviewed, they've all been like really excited about it.
I love that.
Some of them have been like nervous or whatnot, but they've never
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, like I don't want to do this.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
just now getting comfortable being on lives and stuff. It's been
Yeah, I
like
get
3
that.
years.
I get that.
It's weird because we're not super far into this. It's like not even 2 years, like
Yeah, you
literally a
guys
year
are
and a half.
fucking blown up.
Thank you, man. But yeah, it's just been a year and a half. And so at the start of it, we were pretty weird on camera. Like, you know,
You're trying
just
to
like
find
not
yourself still.
Right.
yeah, exactly. But now we kind of have our I don't know how to explain it. There's like the lore of our channel is building, so it's easier
Mhm.
to like
Yeah.
it's easier to do things because now you have these points that you kind of want to hit and can hit. Not like personality wise, like we just try to be ourselves.
Yeah,
But
because it's not like you're
there's like
throwing on a persona. You're literally
No.
being yourself.
yeah, but there's like a channel lore now. Like, okay, you have to do the challenge. Okay, Jake is actually scared of ghosts. So is
Yeah, we
Noah,
gotta
but he's
check
getting
the
over it.
boxes on the list for
Yeah,
sure.
you know, yeah. So it's easier to like create a documentary when you have those things going for you. So
Yeah, all we got going for us is like a catchphrase. Other than that, we bounce around so many other things.
But I mean, that's the freedom our show gives us too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like we have the ability to kind of take it wherever we want. Whether we want to talk about Bigfoot one day, like we're gonna talk about Bigfoot.
Fuck.
If we
Do you
wanna
guys
talk
know
about-
Chat GPT is, right? Like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
knows. Have you guys used it yet?
I did some things, but actually, oh god, no. What video was it that I used chat for the title? Do you remember?
Indiana State Sanatorium, maybe.
No, dude, that was.
I don't even know what ChatGPT is. Is that like
Bro,
AI
it's
or
the
something?
AI.
Yeah.
It's the AI, yeah.
Oh, what video? I don't know. There was a
I don't think-
video.
I think it was either Harriman or Old Hospital. I'm pretty sure. I think. No,
I think it.
Fairfield maybe. No, I don't know.
It was like Old Hospital.
No,
I don't know.
know.
There's a video where I used it for like our title. I just wanted to
Mhm.
see it, and we tried to use it and stuff. So yeah.
Dude, I told it today this morning to write a script for What Goes Bump the Night podcast. And this fucking thing wrote out like a literally like a 5-minute long script, and it came up with people and it did an interview with itself. And I was like,
And it
AI
used
is
our real lore.
scary.
Like,
yeah,
it
and it
actually
literally went off of our podcast lore.
What?
Yeah,
Like, it
I was
pulled
like, this
from
shit
it?
is scary. Like, here, hold on. I told it to write a scary story earlier, and it fucking wrote me a scary story. And I was like,
I think we were in the process of coming up with an intro, I think, and I had it write us a script for our intro to our channel, like,
Yeah, I
like you
remember that.
know,
yeah.
there are things in this world you can,
Yeah,
but
Mhm.
for us, God, I want to find you, dude. I wish I could find it. I don't know even
Here,
how I
I'll
can find
read
it.
these
Yeah, show me
two
yours.
paragraphs. And this is what I told it. I was like, write a scary story. That was the only prompt I gave it. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled amidst dense, foreboding woods, there stood an old, decrepit house. Locals whispered of its dark history, speaking in hushed tones about the haunting that plagued its halls. It was said the house was cursed, a vessel for restless spirits seeking retribution. The villagers dared not venture near the house after sunset, for that was when the true horrors would awaken. But there was one curious soul named Sarah, a young woman, and an insatiable thirst for the unknown. Driven by a mixture of fascination and naivety, she resolved to uncover the truth behind the legends that shrouded the house. This is literally AI.
Gulp.
We
Like,
we also did a series where we did like 5 different stories, I think, that were all written by AI, and they're pretty fucking insane.
I can't believe how fucking crazy technology is and bullshit like that. Like, even like FLIR, like, it's so expensive to get those goddamn
Yeah.
cameras, but like some of the best evidence I've ever seen people capture is with that. And it's like, you can't fucking explain it. It's fucking
Now, that's what
very
made us want to go
science.
to Indiana State Sanatorium is when Destination Fear went there with their FLIR camera, and they were pointing it up at the Adams Hall, which is the 5-story building.
I
And they
remember
got a
this too.
figure walking from window to window. That's when I
Mhm.
told Noah, I was like, we got to go. Like, we're going.
Yep, like this is the bucket list right here. Every
Yeah.
time I watched Destination Truth back in the day, because I'm an old fellow now.
Destination Truth?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Josh
before
Gates.
his show ended up getting canceled and he started doing all the new ones that he's on now. There was a show called Destination Truth. I think you can honestly
Wow.
get it off
It was on
Amazon.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon right now, but you have to do it like season by season. But they went to
Okay, yeah.
Chernobyl and they were in Pripyat and they were doing an investigation of like the schools and stuff while it was radiated and shit, and they were catching like desks moving and handprints on like inside of the houses.
Bro,
and stuff.
what?
Yeah, and it was like,
And like you can't touch that shit. The dust will kill you.
yeah, and it's
No,
like,
yeah.
oh my
What?
fucking god, I want to go. And this was literally what got me into it, is watching like that, you know, back in the day, or like the first ever ghost adventures where the fucking brick gets thrown across the room. I was
Dude,
like, that's
nah,
what did it
bro.
for me.
Dude,
No.
yes. I
No.
remember God, what was that, their OG documentary, or is
The
that their
OG
return?
OG.
That was the yeah, okay. Dude,
That's, like,
yeah.
the first one.
That
Yep, the
I
very
remember
first
rewatching
one.
that like a million times, dude. That is
Mhm.
scary.
Yeah,
And,
and,
like,
I
it
mean the
doesn't
way they reacted
appear-
was so genuine too, because they all fucking ran like little
Yes,
girls.
they ran literally straight out, yeah. But dude, the show that did it for us was Factor Faked. That was our
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
show. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, Factor Fake.
Dude, we love that's so we tried to the final straw for us making our channel. We went to Savannah and we went to the cemetery, and we knew it was haunted, the Colonial Park Cemetery. And we were kind of like off just doing our own thing, me, Noah, and my girlfriend Hannah.
Mhm.
And I was like looking up, like, okay, I want to know some of the hauntings. So we've always been interested in ghosts and stuff. And so we found this video of a kid spirit like running across the cemetery, jumping into a tree, and like coming down and running off and like vanishing. And
Oh my
it's a weird video. You gotta look it
It's
up. Colonial
wild.
Park Cemetery kid. Look that up, dude. It is freaky. So we found the exact location where the camera guy was standing, like Factor Fake does. They'll go to the literal exact spot, line everything up, same camera angle, same movements, everything. And I had, what, did I go run or did you run it? No, I forget.
What? Oh, I ran.
Yeah. So I had Noah go and be the kid, and I told him like where to go via a phone call, and we got him set up, and then we like reenacted it to see if it was like possible to run at that speed and do all this stuff. And we couldn't really debunk it. And so that was like making that little video was kind of what did it for us and like started
Yep.
our channel. We
I
were like,
love
this is a
that.
lot of fun. We want to now do this.
Yeah, me and Riley literally looked at each other while we were just like smoking weed one day, like talking about Bigfoot and all the dumb bullshit that we always did. And we're like, what if we recorded ourselves doing that?
Yeah.
And then it just like a wildfire. We
Wow.
both just went, wait a minute.
And then one day we came across the Ghost Hunts USA,
Mhm.
and they had Licking County Jail as a spot, and we looked it up, and it was 6 hours away, and it wasn't too expensive, and we're like, let's do this.
Yeah,
let's
and
go
I
on
mean,
the
we were like
paranormal
a
investigation.
year and a half into the podcast at that point, and we hadn't even thought about doing YouTube. And then finally we were both like, we have phones. I'm sure we can record on our phones.
We actually never released a video on this place either, and we caught some crazy stuff.
because our feet
Really?
were the main characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's,
It
yeah.
was bad.
I bet you feel us when you first start recording, especially ghost hunting, you end up filming down a lot.
Dude, I'm calling Noah out right now, dude. Right now. Dude, even I'm sorry, no, I'm exposing you, dude.
All right.
I'm
Even-
exposing you.
Even like still, dude, like in Gettysburg and stuff, there's times where I'm like, Noah, you gotta record his face, bro. Because he'll be like talking to you and the camera's like straight down like this.
That's so
And-
fucking funny because Riley
like,
says
"Noah."
that shit to me constantly.
Yeah, I'll be
Dude,
like, putting a video together. I'm like, bro, I had to delete like half of this because
I'll be like, why? It was so good.
Well, I get it because like I feel bad because I'm definitely being annoying when I'm like it's like mid filming a guy talking and like giving us a tour and I'm like, Noah, hey,
Well, that's
bro,
like
you gotta
the stickler in you. That's like, I want to
like-
make something good to show people
well,
too.
my
And it
thought is-
shows in your product too.
Thank you. Like, dude, I mean, that's my thought process. My main thought is like a lot of times just during tours, not the investigations. He's fantastic. I'm not like hating on you. No, I'm just speaking facts here, bro. No, but like during a tour and thing, my thought is he carries the main camera
Mhm.
with our shotgun mic on it, and I'm like, okay, if that camera is down, we're not getting that good audio of the interview because my camera's audio is just picking me up.
right.
And so like we got to get that audio. And so that's where my brain goes. Is like if he says something really cool and that audio is grainy and I can't put it in a trailer, I'm gonna be upset. So it's like
Right.
I know it's annoying, but I can't not say it. You know.
See, and like our good buddy Alex, whenever we take him on investigations, we have to tell his ass, stop hitting your vape, and you have to move out of the shot of the camera if you're gonna stand there.
Yeah,
Try to get him
that's
to
like me.
film
I
too, but he's also 6'9", so his angles are like really strange when he's talking.
Yeah,
to people,
it's like you're
going
looking straight down.
We're like, fuck.
Man, they really
Like,
put
it's
that
cool when you
camera
walk
up in
through
the
everybody.
ceiling for that shot.
Hell yeah. So, what would you guys say is your favorite piece of evidence that you guys have caught?
You're going.
No one's
You're
asked that,
going.
dude. Literally, no one's asked that. How is no one?
How has nobody
I'm gonna
asked that?
think.
See, that's
Oh,
because we're on
man.
the cutting edge.
Okay, I mean, honestly, I have to go with the first thing that comes. I'm not gonna think too deeply. No, what do you? He is like, you sleeping on the job?
I had to think. I had to think of the evidence.
Okay.
I was thinking. I was thinking.
All right.
Don't worry. At some point, my leg is gonna go on the table, and I'm gonna be big
Yeah.
Cut that
chilling.
out.
So.
Dude, let's go. My favorite was Old Benton County Jail. Dwight, if you're watching, shout out Dwight at the Fowler Theater in Old Benton County Jail.
Ow,
He's
ow.
the goat. We were there, and this was probably it's like a year and a month ago. It's like 13 months ago. So this is 6 months into our into our channel. We're still new
Hell
to this. And I think Noah, was it our first video with an actual camera?
That
Is
was
that right?
yeah, because
Isn't that such a good feeling too?
Dude, it was dude.
The-
I'm gonna side note, our first 6 videos ish were filmed and they were filmed on our iPhones and edited on CapCut.
That's what we're
Bro,
using.
That's where we're at right now.
Dude, there you go. You
it
understand,
works,
dude.
dude. It's so
When
good.
when we get to like 40 minutes, dude, there was times where it was like an hour before the drop, and I'm trying to download this thing, and it's not. It'll take like 30
So-
minutes to load, and then it just quits, and I'm like,
We would use Google Drive to
Oh
like
my
try to
God.
get our files together, and it's like,
dude.
fuck
That's what we
this
did.
And then we
shit.
realized-
iPhone video files are so weird to share.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, we
Yep.
learned
Yes.
that too. We're like, what? You can't.
We
like,
lost a whole
transfer it to
investigation
Google and
because
then
of it, too.
Yeah, we lost
Yeah,
an
dude.
entire investigation that had
Yep.
some of our best evidence ever.
Yes.
Completely gone. All the video like gone. We
Well,
literally
now
played
thinking
tag
about
with
it,
the ghost.
I am so thankful that we had that camera because it allowed us to have 2 angles for this piece of evidence, better audio, better visuals, and so that moment is like engraved in our channel's like history. And we got flamed. We got flamed for this, by the way. We put this clip on we thought it was so cool. We put this clip on a Facebook group chat, like a ghost chat, and there,
Oh,
I'm not even
no.
joking, probably I think over 1,000 likes and like 400 comments of people saying we shouldn't be doing this. We're amateurs. We're just little kids. This is terrible. It's fake.
Wow.
So we're at the
You
Old
guys
Benton
are
County Jail.
full-fledged adults. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. We're at the Old Benton County Jail, and we're in the cell. Jacob Nelling, and he is a murderer. He murdered a 15-year-old girl in that town. Got locked up in that jail.
Disgusting.
And so the town people were so upset by this, they broke into the jail. The sheriff let them in. They took him and they brought him outside and hung him in front of everyone. And so this is Jacob Nelling's cell. He
That
said
sounds like
haunt-
the Lincoln County Jail story too.
licking.
Did
Yeah,
a
Lincoln
did a
in
lady burn in
Newark.
one of the cells in there too?
Dude, I don't know. I'm trying to
I would
get.
say it'd be a coincidence as
Ohio?
fuck, but yeah.
Yeah. But God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're in this cell and we're doing a spirit box session. And what did I ask? No, I forget. Do you remember?
Do you know how to talk into this?
Yeah, I said, do you know how to talk into this? And there was silence for a minute. And dude, when people say, "Oh, I heard a bang in a haunted location," okay, dude, you don't understand how loud this was. I thought someone shot a gun in the building.
Damn.
Dude,
And we were alone. We had a girl with us who was like the tour guide who's supposed to stay away in a different room.
Yep.
She went out to her car. So this was the first time that
She
we were
noped
completely
the fuck
alone.
out.
Dude, she was in her car doing whatever. She's just like, "Oh, you will be fine." And so we hear this. I wish I could explain it to you. You'll just have to watch it. Just this loud, sounded like a gunshot, but we know now it was either someone just punching a cell door with the force of like a car, like I don't know, or it was like a residual gun, like I don't know. It was so freaking loud, and I flipped the camera and we just both started screaming. Noah was like cussing at it and crying, and I was just yelling, "Sam, Sam," which was a tour guide's name. I didn't know if she came in. My first thought was, okay, it jump scared me. But then, like, as I'm screaming, I'm thinking, okay, she came in and she shut the door really hard. Okay, whatever. And then, so I'm screaming her name and stuff, trying to call to her, see if she's in here. No response. And that's when I flipped the camera around and Noah's like crying. Dude, that was insane, bro.
Dude,
I wish I could explain to you how loud that was.
that's so
dude.
insane because at Lincoln County, there was a guy who killed somebody in the town during Prohibition on accident, but he was like a murder or something, and the guy got locked up in the Lincoln County jail, and the fucking sheriff let the fucking townspeople in to kill him because he killed a sheriff, I think is what the story was.
Yeah.
And they
Dude,
drug
really?
him out into the middle of town and hung him
story you
too.
just told,
bro.
but it was the Licking County Jail, like licking
in Ohio, yeah.
Yep. And then the fucked up part was too, like, we had some crazy experience just like that too. That's fucking
really
weird shit.
Dude, can I have the thing pulled up? Can I show this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Give me 1 second, dude. I want you guys to. Have you seen this clip from our channel yet?
I don't think I've seen this one yet.
I might not.
I've tried to watch as much as possible, but it's like
old,
trying to
so
shotgun everything at once is hard.
So can you see this?
Now we should be able to.
Oh wow, yeah, I can see it.
All right. You know how to talk. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Watch this.
Do you know how to talk into this?
I know.
I'm crying. There he is. There he is.
Do you know how to talk into this?
Dude, and yeah, here's the other angle. This is the phone.
Dude, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I didn't realize how loud that was. I just forgot,
Bro, that made my
That's
heart drop. That made my heart drop.
That's so fucking loud.
So what happened at Lincoln County Jail for us is we were on the second floor or
The
top
second
floor.
or third floor?
Second or third floor. I don't remember. It was like 4 years ago now, but we were sitting there and doing an EVP session, and we heard this loud screeching come from a jail cell on our floor.
Like a door, like a rusty door that was being
Yeah.
shut. Like,
Like so loud
For
right?
that long?
Oh,
It
yeah,
wa-
it's
it
like
drug
8
out for a
seconds.
while.
The
It
video
was
that I
long.
have of the recording is 8 seconds long. And the crazy thing is we were doing Ghost Hunts USA. Everyone else was down in the basement. We ran all the way down to the basement, and we're like, "Did you guys hear that or like open a door
like
or anything?"
who the fuck just messed
And
with
they're
us?
like, "No, we were sitting here doing that candlelight, like a flashlight trick."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And I mean, there wasn't even that many people there with us because we probably had 12 or
there were
13
12
people in the group.
total.
Yeah.
So 10 people downstairs, us all the way on the other side of the building.
And 3 floors above. And it was like we looked at the video prior to us walking through the jail cells, and the doors were all closed, like up against the wall, at least open so you can go in them. And then when we
Bro.
looked again after we heard that shit, the door was fucking off the
Like,
wall and
almost in the
open,
middle of the fucking hallway.
like to where you would have to
And the
walk
thing
around it.
is these
Bro.
doors are cast iron steel.
Yeah, dude,
like
yeah.
500 pounds and haven't moved in 120 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
dude.
hard as shit to move it back too. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, dude, those things, for some reason with us, the county jails are always so crazy. So crazy. And Clayton's in the chat. That was not at Old Licking. That was at Benton. I haven't been to
you
Old
just
Licking
got
yet.
similar stories. We're
I
not trying
swear to
accuse
God.
anyone.
Their
I was
story
gonna
was
say,
Old
Lickens
Licking.
were,
Mine was Benton. Yeah.
Lickens were old. The Ghost Adventures caught the really good
They've been there?
apparition.
You didn't
Yeah.
know that?
No, they've been there?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
at
the
Old Licking
first
County
season.
Jail. Mhm.
All I know is me and Clayton in the chat have been talking about hitting that up, and
Do it.
It's
That
so
place is
worth
Noah.
it.
so
Please,
haunted.
dude.
The
It's
people
like-
that
it's-
own that place
it's
are so
Noah's,
fucking
like-
cool.
really?
Yeah, they're
that's-
so
That's what
nice.
it sounds like. Yeah, dude, Noah is like always freaking out about going there, dude. It looks
Recommend
like
it.
Yeah,
insane.
dude, as soon as we walked into the Lincoln County building, we had our walkie-talkies in our backpack just turn on for no reason, and they just immediately just went, and we were like, all right, what the fuck? And then we were doing the tour. Me and Riley had done a little bit of our research, and we found out that there was a lady that lit herself on fire and her dress caught on fire, and she burned in
We
one
were
of the
super
cells.
excited to try to talk to
Bro.
her. Right?
We didn't look at, we were so jazzed up. We didn't look at any of the like the little plaques on
We
the
said
walls.
we're gonna
or
go to a
anything.
random cell.
We just fucking
Yeah.
walked down the lady cell block, walked into one, and they were like, "So this is where such and such burned up," and we're like, "No fucking shit!" And we were just in there already.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Like, that
what?
place was so fucking epic, and it was the first big one that we had ever done outside of cemeteries. So like, I was also
Yeah, that's a
like,
big step
still,
up,
like,
bro.
I was like hoodied up, like I'm fucking
Uh-huh.
terrified, but this is so fucking cool.
And
Dude, that's still
I
how
don't
I
know
am,
you guys
dude.
feel about orbs, but we did capture like something I believe is an orb there
Or-
within 5 minutes of showing up.
Yeah, and it was like to the point to where it looked like it came out of me and it went into another room, and then it was like I react to
And then
it.
he literally looked back in the
Yeah,
direction that it went.
There's some there's definitely orbs that are orbs. Like we captured one at the Asher Walton house, and Clayton, who's again, he's in the chat.
Shout out Clayton.
Clayton we were all standing and we were talking about how Eric, our buddy that we talked about for Gettysburg, he was there and he was telling us about this location, the Asher Walton house, and that he got an EVP about Beelzebub, the devil.
Hell yeah.
And so I was telling him this story, and there's a freaking orb, and it's not a ball, and this is broad daylight too, but it still appears in the camera. And so we're not using a light bar; it's just broad daylight from the window.
Yeah, there's no
So
way it could be like a lens flare or something.
No, it can't. And it comes down as like a ball, and then it like gets like butterfly wings, and it goes to his head. And in the next clip, he starts like rubbing his head weird. And then we go downstairs a few minutes later, and he's got this freaking red spot on his head, dude.
Yep.
That's
just
when you
watched
know
that
it's
video
like
the
that
other
was
day.
something. Dude,
That's
that video
so weird.
that place messed me up, dude. That place messed me up. For real.
That's
that
so
place is no
interesting,
joke.
man.
Have
Yeah,
either of you had a place where you thought something may have followed you home?
Oh yeah, we got some
Asher
fucking-
Walton House.
Yeah, we got some shit like that too.
Asher Walton House and the museum probably right now.
Yeah.
So like,
museum
what
for me
happened
and
when you
you.
guys brought it home then?
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. The Asher Walton House was more of like a mental battle. Like me
Yeah,
and Clayton were having nightmares. I texted him and I was like, dude, I've been having nightmares for like a week about this.
and this is not like you to have nightmares either, is it?
No, it's well, so when I was a kid, I had literally like a 6 or 8 month period where every night I had like night terrors and it stopped. And really I don't have nightmares besides every now and then. But this
Yeah.
happened every night for a week after Asher Walton. And it was about
Damn.
this little doll person that would come at me in my backyard over there. And the reason I think I was affected that night, if you've seen the video, I was like crying. The reason I think I was affected is because we were doing Noah's challenge and he had put one of the papers in a doll in this case of haunted objects. And so I opened the case and I'm like messing with the stuff and I think that's when something attached to me.
Damn, yeah.
The doll was from the Bell Witch Cave, which is
What?
Oh, what the fuck?
and then I went
Like
back
the
to
house
Asher
in
Walton
heaven.
to pick up something like a couple weeks ago. This is way after the fact. The video is already out.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
go
Asher
back to
Walton,
pick
I
up
didn't even
something.
put two and two together.
And I'm talking to Keith, which is like he's not the owner, I don't think, but he like works there. He's like the main guy.
Right.
And he was like, I said, dude, so tell me the story about this doll because you didn't tell us anything. You just said it was haunted and from the Bell Witch Cave. And he said that I forget who it was, but someone went there to the Bell Witch Cave. And the family, like John Bell's family, which if you look up the story, John Bell's the main guy. I forget the whole story, but you know, there's like a
Right.
freaking
We have a whole
demon in his
episode on
house.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they make these dolls. The family still owns the property. They make dolls to sell to people that come through. And I guess whoever it was that went there, she said to the guy at the register, like, is there any dolls that are giving you problems? And he said, yeah, give
No
me
shit.
about 10 minutes. I'll go show you. And he brought her back to this room. And on the top shelf, there was this dusty looking doll. And he said, 2 people have returned this saying it's haunted and has
No
like cursed
fucking
their
way.
families. And she said, I'll take it. And that was the doll that I touched at the Asher Walton house.
Yeah.
And my
That's
nightmares that I had for a week
crazy.
after were of a doll that looked like that one. And I had
Wow.
no idea about that. And Tanner did too, which was the other guy who was here. And so did Clayton. He was also having nightmares. I texted him and he was like, yeah, dude, me and Tanner too. It was messed up.
Damn.
He
It was
had
really
night-
messed up.
nightmare one time.
I
Literally
have
hours
a
after we
few.
left Lincoln County Jail. He had a
Yeah.
dream that he got rushed in a jail cell that it was
Oh,
the first time we ever felt that electric energy in the air.
So
Do you know what I'm talking about? You walk
I
into
have a
the room, it's
hypothesis
just like,
too.
boom, it's on. Like
yes.
So like we were walking through the cells while we were investigating, and this was while we were with the group though. and I walked in front of one of the cells on the male floor, which they housed a lot of fucking inmates in this small like cell block, and there was like 7, 8 people per cell, and it could only realistically hold 3. And they were murderers, killers, you know, they were just throwing them all in there, whatever.
Yeah.
So I like walked up in front of it, and like it felt like I stuck a fucking fork into the outlet, and I was getting jolted, and I was like, dude, this does not feel like what any other room has felt like today. And then I walked in there, I was looking around, it felt like the veil of darkness was even darker than it should have been, and I was like, weird. Well, then we do the rest of the investigation. We're on our way home after that, and I'm riding in the passenger seat, and I fall asleep, and I'm sleeping on the window, you know, like happy go lucky do da da. And then I'm like immediately, vividly back to walking through the same hallway in the cell block, looking at the same exact cell. And then all of a sudden, while I'm looking into the cell, I get rushed by this big ass black mass. And then I'm
Fuck
like,
that.
immediately woke up, and I like looked at Riley, and I was like, whoa, that was fucking weird. And then now that I've
Dude.
had time to like process it, I was like, what if I subconsciously am seeing what really happened that day?
Yeah. Dude, that's messed up, bro.
Dude, it was fucking wild. And it's like we've encountered a few things like that too, where it's like I'm very skeptical when it comes to being like attached or possessed or affected very much so. But we also did the Eloise Asylum in Detroit. Well, right on the outskirts of Detroit, but they would do lobotomies there. It was like a huge compound with bunch of different buildings where it was almost its own city. And they had criminally insane, and they had like a geriatric floor. Like the place was massive, but
Huge. I believe I saw an apparition.
yeah,
there.
we had a lot of really good evidence, like audible like bangs on tables and shit. Like we had all of the evidence that we caught. I'm pretty sure we caught 99% of it on video. We had a duck that we brought with us as a trigger object go off on command when we'd ask it to.
Whoa,
And it
dude,
was like
Eloise
15 minutes
It's
is
straight.
so high on
Crazy.
our list, dude. It's so high on our list,
Mhm.
Yeah,
man.
if you ever
I
get
wanna
the
go
chance
so
to
bad.
do it, like
Yep.
jump on it.
We'll go with you
because-
because fuck, I
yeah,
want to
we'll
go back.
with you. It's a 3-hour
Dude, let's
drive
do it.
for us.
All right, we're going
But,
back.
like-
We're going to Eloise.
We literally got home from the trip, and I like walked into my house, and I was like, that was fucking awesome. And just started fucking throwing up and violently puking. I don't know why. I felt fine when we got home. And then the next day, I'm watching my daughter's her like fucking camera in her room, and her fucking rocking chair is rocking on its own.
Oh, hell
Didn't do
no.
that before we got back.
Dude, no, bro.
Nope. I was like, oh, okay, we might have brought something back with us on accident. And I don't know if it was good or bad because I don't know why I was throwing up.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was like
Yeah,
one of those
dude.
two where it's like puking, like, I'm good. Like, what the fuck? Like, rally real
So
quick.
I don't know why that happened. No, yeah, I got you, dude. That sucks.
God, that was seriously one of the wildest like afflictions, I guess you could say, I've ever encountered for
Yeah.
myself. And it made me believe more and more where it's like, okay, I guess if it's like energy transference, like that would make sense. Like if you're getting like a stimulation overload, like that would make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you guys have probably done some cemeteries, right?
Actually, not really.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've done one cemetery on a live stream, and it's in our hometown. It's Evergreen Cemetery. It's an unmarked like paupers. It's like on this beautiful trail, and there's a fence around this little area, and there's like a little sign that just says "Keep out unmarked cemetery" or something, and it's from an old poor farm that used to be there in that area, and they just would dump all the bodies there unmarked.
Oh yeah.
That's the only place we've been, and we dipped because there was a real person there, and it was creepy. And that's. I mean, honestly, we haven't done a lot
Our
of
bread and
cemeteries.
butter has been cemeteries,
Yeah,
and
like,
we've
a
caught
lot of
some
people's
the most
are.
insane shit we've ever caught. Like
Dude,
we've caught full body
yeah.
apparition photographs, and it's like,
I've considered going in. There's a couple like 100-step cemetery in southern
Mhm.
Indiana. I've considered like talking to Noah and like going to one of those for a full video because I mean some of these cemeteries they have some pretty crazy stories.
yeah. And I
But,
mean,
like-
honestly, like we tried to get permission for a lot of these places, but like we realized that hey, it's almost impossible to get a hold of fucking county and figure out who owns it. So at this point,
Yeah,
even if
it's
it
like-
says
yeah.
like no trespassing this or that, like if you go there and you get pulled over by a cop and you're respectful, you're probably gonna be in pretty good like
Well, yeah, they're
good
not gonna
luck.
like drag you to
We-
jail.
One of our investigators, Chase, he got pulled over after one of our investigations at Mouth Cemetery, which is like 45 minutes away from where we are now. And the cop was just like, "What's that?" And like he did it like like a tutorial and showed him all of it, and he was just like, "All right, cool, man, that's awesome. Like, have a nice night."
Nice,
Like,
yeah.
bye.
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of cops, at least the ones that I've known and
Mhm.
that you see on like these shows, a
They've
lot of
seen this
cops,
shit.
they believe in it. They see it,
Yep.
yes, because they go to some of the worst, creepiest,
Abandoned
rundown,
houses too.
abandoned places, parts of
Mhm.
your town that you'd never want to go to, and they all see some stuff, dude.
I always
I'm
tell the
sure.
people too, like, we're basically urban explorers. Like, we
Yeah.
go into places looking for ghosts, but like at the same time, a lot of these places are run down, and like you could technically go anywhere, like I said earlier, and probably do an investigation, whether anything happens or not. But like, it's still fun to go and try it. That's
Yeah,
what gets me
definitely.
the most.
And I think a lot of people too, they always want to shoot for that nighttime investigation, but like shit will happen during the day. Like it doesn't have to
Dude.
be nighttime. Shit will happen in broad
Or
daylight.
people are always
Yep.
like, "I gotta see it." It's like, come on, like there's more to it than
Yeah.
just that.
Well, people always comment like, I don't know. People think they got you. It's like the got you question, and the response that we get all the time is, "Well, you
Got
only
you, bitch.
investigate at night because ghosts." I don't know. Like they think that they got us with that. Like you only investigate at night, which is not true.
Who
Ben-
said that fucking ghosts are nocturnal? That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
Like, who said
Well,
that?
and so I tell them this. I tell them the reason we investigate at night is first and foremost, it's creepy. Second of all,
True.
easier to see apparitions and anomalies. Third of all, there's not as much outside traffic and noise because everyone's asleep.
Exactly. The
Exactly.
You're not
pollution,
getting
way
cars. You're
down,
not
and the
getting
noise.
exactly, yes. So when you hear something, it's more likely to be paranormal because everyone's asleep. And so I tell them that, but then also the clip I showed you, that was during the day
Yep.
at that jail. That was at like 6 p.m. in March. That was during the day. And
Oh, let's see. Who's awake at 6 p.m.? Normal
Yeah.
people.
yeah, exactly. And so, and when we went to Asher Walton, or not Asher Walton, Ashmore Estates, I told you we got nothing all night. The owner in our interview, Robin Terry, who's amazing, before our preliminary interview with him, he said we get most of our stuff during the day, and so a lot of times we recommend people come during the day, or like you'll get stuff until about 10 o'clock and then you'll get nothing, which is exactly what happened during my challenge. Was the only evidence we got, and then we got nothing else. And all of the stories from our interviews were they took place during the broad daylight. And so after that, we started thinking like, okay, I guess a lot of this stuff happens during the day. So we go to the Asher Walton house with Clayton. Me and Noah are doing our tour during the day. First, we're doing our interview. We hear footsteps upstairs during the day. Then we're on our tour. I say, if anyone's in here, can you knock back? And we literally, dude, it sounds like someone knocks on the door, just bum, 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 right back to us, broad daylight. And so we keep thinking, and our next collab is with the Ghost Bros. So we go to the old Williams County Jail in Bryan, Ohio. The entire investigation was during the day. We started at 4 p.m. and we ended at 8. The entire thing was broad daylight. You can see it in the video. It was stupid active, nonstop
That's so
activity,
cool.
intelligent Estes method. 2 of them actually. We caught like 3 audible little girls like voices, and the story there was that this little girl haunts and no one knows why. EVPs off the wall, REM pod, cat vault, dude, it was nuts. Broad daylight.
Not
And
to
the
mention it
theory is
makes it
because
easier to
that's when
record.
people would be up. That's when people would be up. That's when the inmates would actually be doing things, and the
Right.
people who worked at the jail, that's when they would be doing stuff. And
Yeah.
so we were getting some intelligent activity. So that says something about when ghosts are doing things. Like it doesn't have to be at night. But
Right.
I think you're going to get a lot of residual activity during the day because that's the time of day that it occurred.
I feel like
Well-
sometimes though that the residual evidence you capture is the best evidence. It's the most clear.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
residual stuff. Yeah, because
It
it's like
seems like it's an echo, like of the past, and like, well, what's better to hear the echo at the exact time that it probably would have happened during the time of like
Well,
person's
go
living.
back to the beginning of this conversation with Gettysburg. It's the same.
Yep.
That was all residual stuff.
Right.
I don't think
Mhm.
that was intelligent screams of ghosts screaming.
No,
It's
not at
residual.
all.
Right.
You're hearing that, and I don't know how it works. There's like stone tape theory. No one really knows, but something, it just somehow can replay. I don't know.
Right.
Right.
I have one experience with like residual haunting. At least that's what I believe. It was at my parents' house. I just gotten home from work. I was the only one home, and I was chilling on the couch with my dog, just playing with him. And at the same time, me and my dog both reacted to this. It was an older woman and a man arguing in my parents' bedroom out of nowhere. And I just figured, oh, they left the TV on. I'm gonna go shut it
Jerry
off. I didn't have the
Springer!
TV on in the house or anything. Like I literally just got home and just started playing with the dog, just trying to, get back to real life.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
fucking chill, bro.
Yeah, just trying to chill. And
Yeah.
I go into my parents' bedroom, TV's off, no one's in there. Neighbors aren't even home, so it wasn't coming, from next door.
Yeah.
And I just got like really a weird feeling in the room at the same time. And I was like, okay, that was super weird. And I went back to hanging out. I think I started, making some food or whatever. And from the same room, I hear a woman say, I don't wanna. And that's all I heard.
And then whap. Sorry.
I was just like, I think I'm gonna be outside for a little bit. This was before I was like, wanting to investigate or anything.
Yeah, no, it's scary, dude. I'm still scared of this stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
truthfully, this is a phobia. It's bad for me. Like, it's so bad.
It's so funny you say that because it's like I have a needle phobia, but it's like I have a full fucking sleeve and then my leg is
Yeah.
completely tattooed too.
My phobia is ghosts, but dude, I've always been gravitated towards things I'm scared of. My biggest fear
Right.
used to be tornadoes, and then I did like a job shadow at the National Weather Service. I was dead set on becoming a meteorologist.
And then you become a storm chaser.
Dude, yeah, that's what I wanted to
I
do.
love
And
that.
I loved the show Storm Chasers, and then obviously I've always been scared of ghosts. So of course I love watching Fact or Faked and Ghost Adventures, and now here I am doing this.
I love that. You can tell that you guys are enthusiastic about it for sure. Because
I mean it's been
me
our
and Riley
entire
literally
life.
talk about you guys how like we're like fuck if we were their age and we had the drive that we do now to do this shit and like we would have actually planned a little better. Oh man, we would have had so many places that we would have been to by now, and it's like fuck.
Yeah, even I like I'm always worried like we're not doing enough.
Mhm.
We started too late, but we always hop on podcasts and people say that. It makes me feel a lot better. So thank you.
Right.
But
Yeah, of course.
yeah, it's like I don't know. Overly again, it's that type A personality thing, like overly
Mhm.
critical. I'm never doing enough, and
No, we
yeah.
totally feel you. Like it's been a grind to like even grow an audience for us, but we're so
It's hard.
appreciative, of
It's
everyone that
finally starting to
tunes in
gain
to,
traction
like,
for us
weekly
too.
for us, even if they don't tune in live, like they're tuning in like the next day or whatever, and like it means so much to us. Like we never
Yeah.
would have thought, 4 years ago that one person would want to come on,
Let
to our
alone
show,
like what?
Yeah.
How
or
many now?
even one person even listen to it besides like
What's our
girlfriends
overall
or
downloads
wife
at
or
right now?
something. What's that?
What's our overall downloads at right
So
now?
yeah, we have like 13.6 thousand downloads.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Dude.
And like thinking about it, I was like, that's a lot of fucking people.
Dude, yeah, dude.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
The biggest thing is making it past the dull parts, I guess, where you don't
Right.
you're making stuff for no one and you know it. And that's where if you're in this just for money or you're not actually enthusiastic about it, you're gonna fail. And you can kind of see who those people are because they're they've been doing this for X amount of years and they're wanting to give up and all this stuff. And
Yep.
for me and Noah, like giving up was never like we've never talked
Never
about
been
that
an
ever.
option.
No, it's
We
not.
took a little hiatus because I had a baby, but that was
Yeah,
about
that was
it.
the only time
Well,
we ever
dude, that's
took a break.
respectable. Yeah, that's different.
That was
But
the only time we took a break, and then besides that, like we've gotten right back to it, and just like our mindset is we're gonna do this whether people listen or not because
Yeah.
we love doing this and
yeah,
having this ability to like create a show that we feel like. For one, I'm a super creative person. Like, I need a creative outlet like constantly. So
Yeah.
like this is the perfect like thing. Like I love doing it,
exactly.
and makes me happy when I create
Mhm.
content or like I reach out to someone like you guys who I don't know, never met you, and be like, hey, do you want to come on to our show? And you guys being so receptive, be like, yeah, hell yeah, we're down. Like it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Well,
to
to
think-
be able to make friends too, and then
Exactly,
like
yeah.
lasting like relationships with people. That's
that's
what I
true.
like the most
The
about
amount
it.
of friends we've picked, dude. So the first year and a half of this channel, we're at a year and a half. So I guess the first year, right? Am I thinking about timeline right, dude?
First
This
year.
thing messes with my brain.
Dude,
Yeah, the
I get
first year or
everything
so.
wrong chronologically.
Yeah.
So
Dude, like
yeah, because everyone
the
knows
first
2020
year,
didn't actually happen.
yeah, exactly. The first year, we had no one. We weren't creating things for anyone because we would get. Noah sent me a screenshot, and we had like 90 views in the first few days on one of our documentaries, and we
shit,
were like
had
freaking
15
out.
in the first month for like 7 episodes.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I remember when we hit 100 views in like a video, we were like freaking out, and we put it into perspective because now it's like if we have a premiere and we don't get to like 200 views or so by the time the video is done premiering, we're so upset and like not like upset, but we're like kind of down on
You're
ourselves.
like,
Like,
that was
I
the
didn't.
mark I was aiming
No,
for.
yeah, we
Yeah,
totally
and so
understand.
Noah like put it into perspective, like, dude, that used to be huge because we were what I'm trying to say is we were making stuff for no one cared, no one was watching, and then all of a sudden we started, we had Molly was the first person. She's from the UK, and she was like the first person, and this all started, by the way, we made a Twitter. We were thinking about it for months. We never collabed with anyone. We never talked to anyone else in the field for the first year, and then we made a Twitter last August, so August 2022, which seems like 5 years ago in my brain, but it
Which
was
is
not even a
much
year.
time at all.
No, and all of a sudden we started like making all these connections, finding these other groups. Then we got put in this group chat. Then we're going live streaming with all these guys that we met.
And then
on
you
there.
realize there's so many more of us than you thought there were.
Yes. And what I'm getting to is the first thing is we made content for no one for a long time, and you have to
Yep.
get past that if you're gonna make it. And a lot of people can't. They just can't. They can't. And the second thing is the friends that we've made, like you said, is just it's been crazy with the
It's
Ghost Bros
unreal.
and Blood Moon and
Clayton.
Brandon from Exploring Revenants and Eric, dude,
Zach.
Eric Wolf, yeah, everyone.
Everyone we've collabed with, amazing people.
Yeah, surprisingly,
Shit.
we have collabed with pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
So we have
Well,
Ghost
fuck,
Bros coming
yeah.
up. So like, it's like the community. It seems
it's so tight knit.
so tight. Like everyone's willing to work with each other, and like,
Well, and
Yeah.
the fact that everybody boosts each other up so
Is
like
that too.
graciously and like without even like questioning it, where it's like you
Yeah,
caught that,
exactly.
like that's fucking sweet. I that's better than anything I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shoot,
Yeah,
like
everyone always talked about like. First of all, Noah was saying like, don't join Twitter because this is when Twitter was still like Twitter is pretty
a toxic
fantastic. now.
fucking cesspool.
That's
Yeah,
that's
but
what I didn't
back
want.
then
On
it
Twitter.
was horrible. Now it's getting a lot better in my
Now it's
opinion.
Facebook.
But yeah, literally. But so we were iffy about it, but it turned out fantastic, and everyone was always talking about and they still talk about the paranormal drama. It's like, dude, if you just stay out of it,
We've never seen it. Not a
Dude,
single lick of it.
the more you do, I mean, truthfully, you start to see it, but like, just stay out. Like, don't. Why would you bother? Like,
Yeah, I don't think we've
if
ever
you're
had a single
always
problem with
focusing
anyone.
on that, or like, people will focus on that. Like, this guy said this about me, or this guy commented this user 1.496 commented that he hates me, and they get so beat up about it. But the thing is, like, like me and Noah literally don't care. Like, we don't
Yeah.
respond to nasty comments. We don't say anything. It doesn't phase us. You just have
we're
to.
pretty much, not that we've ever actually had any negative.
No, we
comments,
had
to be honest.
one, but I did the research on it and I laid into the person on the next episode and I was like, was it even fucking worth it? It was funny
Yeah.
because I ranted for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
and I made a big old gag about it. But I mean, that was like, you're not even worth my time.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, it's honestly just kind of sad to see. A lot of people get so caught up in that stuff, and then they just, I mean, they just
I don't
stop, or
understand
they
the
just.
competition at all. Like, where
Right,
it's
exactly.
Why are we
We
trying to
can't
compete?
make paranormal investigating a competition because no one's ever
No.
going to win.
No.
No, you're right. Exactly.
No
Until
one's
somebody
ever going to
when
catch the
somebody
best
does win,
evidence.
then everybody else is done because the
Right,
answers
right.
are fucking right there.
Yeah,
would
it's
you
there.
do it?
Wow, yeah, exactly. But again, that won't happen. So yeah, you just have to. You got to be yourself and be different. You stand out, and then just keep making stuff. And if you don't enjoy it, and if you're not like passionate about it, then, I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't know if you'll make it. It's just you have to That's the biggest thing about being a creator, especially when your goal is to do this full time, like it is for Noah and I.
Yeah.
We want to do this full time.
So do we really
And
bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's like, yeah, it's
We've
the
dedicated
drive.
a little more time here and a little more time there until it's finally where it's like both of us are like, all right, we have
Like,
to make this
we have a
successful.
lot
Yep,
of
we-
plans
yep.
coming up for the future. It's like we're
Mm.
always looking ahead to like we have to balance, our personal lives, obviously, on top of this podcasting world
Yeah.
that we've
Yeah,
That's
now
the hardest
dedicated into our
part.
life. And for the past 3 years, I've been playing semi-professional hockey, and I'm going to be retiring from
really?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've won 3
Yeah, we
championships
we've
back
both
in a
played
row.
high levels of hockey.
Dude.
And I'm retiring now, so like I have my weekends back. So like
Mm.
I'm gonna be
Yep.
able to, start planning investigations.
Yeah,
and
I have a
I'm not-
4-year-old now.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
I
dude.
have school and stuff to worry
Yeah,
about. So
soon.
Well, that's the other thing is like the sacrifices that it takes. Like
Oh,
Noah
yeah.
Noah
Exactly.
graduated high school a year early, so we didn't have to worry about school. We could just because my work schedule used to be a lot more flexible. I'd have a day off every week, and
Mm.
then also the weekend, and that day was like flexible. So if like Tuesday night we were
It's
like,
like,
"Yo,
let's
let's
do
go
it."
live right now," I could just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna move my day to Wednesday." It's not like that now, but like he graduated high school, so that would work. We've had the amount of time we hang out with our friends has dropped off a cliff. Obviously
Yep.
now we hang out with our paranormal friends, but that's it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Balancing like both lives is definitely like the hardest
yeah, it
tightrope
is.
to walk.
It
my
can be
God,
very
dude.
challenging for
It's
sure.
very hard, and luckily we're young, so like there's not a ton that we have to worry about, honestly.
Mhm.
It feels like it, but it's like really me and Noah both have work. That's as long as it
Yeah,
fits
and then
that,
whatever
we're
else
fine.
is on the feeling at that
Yeah,
night.
and so we're super lucky, but we're on the verge of being able to do this full time, which is fantastic for everyone
Yeah,
who
and
likes our
I
stuff
fucking
because
really hope you guys do too.
Yeah, that
like
leads me
that'd be
into
Thanks,
so
my
amazing.
next question.
man.
You recently started a Patreon, so congratulations on that. We've had
Thank
one in
you.
the works forever, but haven't felt like
Yeah.
we have the like fan dedication to be able to offer something like that.
Mhm.
How has the beginnings of Patreon been for you?
Honestly, it's been pretty fantastic to be quite frank with you.
Mhm.
I've done the math on what we would need to do just on there,
Mm.
not including anything else, to be full time, and it's extremely doable. Like
Damn
it
straight.
is, it is very doable. It's just a matter of getting there.
Would
And
you
so
mind listing off your packages? Sorry to interrupt, but I'm just curious.
yeah, the first one is Spirit Squad, which that's when we were at the old hospital in College Hill. We were live with Eric, and he has Epic Fam, which is, and everyone's got like their fan base, whatever. And by
Mhm.
that point, we just started to get some people that were like actual fans, not just someone that watched and was like, oh, cool. Like people that were like we have a fan account now. Micah, thank you if Micah's still watching.
That's so
It's so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, but it's cool. It's so cool. Weird in the sense it's like hard to wrap your brain around that.
Right. Yeah, I
Right.
totally I understand.
Yeah,
But so
we always
Spirit
say that
Squad
same
is what
shit.
they decided they wanted to be called. So Spirit Squad is the first tier. And you get, oh God, I have to remember this. You get all of our TikTok live streams we upload. We'll do like exclusive updates.
Mm.
And then we're also going to do like live streams and things that are just for Patreon members. The second one is Bruce Nation. You get all of that plus Noah's vlogs, which is a new series that we are doing where Noah films like behind the scenes throughout the day of like us going
Hell
to the
yeah.
location and going out to eat and like the first
that's
time we
cool.
actually meet the people that we're collabing with, because the first time isn't on camera. It's
Right.
like an hour after we've met them, if not more.
Yep.
And so he gets that all in Noah's vlog. It's hilarious. And then you also get early access to our stuff. Like we dropped our Gettysburg trailer today on Patreon, like 2.5 or 1.5 weeks early.
So sick.
And that's $10 a month. The final tier is like the big one. That's $20 a month. You get all of that stuff plus unedited challenge clips. So instead of like having all the cuts, we just upload like the entire 30-40 minute challenge
That's so
clip.
smart.
So that way
That's
they
so
can just
cool.
watch it as it happens. There's always evidence that we miss, and that
I was gonna say it's a
we don't
second
put
set of
in.
eyes too, for sure. Like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and hopefully also it goes to show that like we are legit since we're willing
Yeah,
to
you
just
guys aren't
drop the
fibbing
raw
anything.
footage. Yeah, like you can literally see on there from like we're filming and I'm like telling Noah like, okay, we got to set this camera up here, we got to do this, and like let's go. And then
The director behind the camera.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And then so that's the final tier, and so you get all that stuff plus the unedited clips, and then just like random videos that we'll post. Like when we hit 50 Patreon members, we're gonna drop all of our old YouTube channels and skits that we used to have. Noah's are super
yeah.
cringy, so
Oh, mine are the worst, dude. That's
dude, it's gonna be so funny.
Awful.
Dude,
But yeah, dude, it's been super well.
Yeah,
We
It's
have
fun to
literal
film.
skits that we made for the podcast
Yeah.
where we like voice act, and it's like, oh fuck, if we
Yeah.
redo that and like we make mini series like movies out of them
That's-
too, and like try to like do the cinema with it, it'd be like, oh shit, we could easily make a Patreon.
Dude,
That
yeah,
shit would
for
be
real.
so
we
much
actually
fun.
have had a plan written up for like 3 years. now.
Yeah, except for I don't know now, because like, would you say that the volume of people exceeded what you guys originally assumed you were gonna have for the Patreon?
It was pretty much dead on. Like
Really?
I told Noah,
that's impressive for sure.
yeah, I told Noah what we could do like day one. Like, okay, we have this many people that are like, they've already said they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
And so all of those people did, and so we're kind of dead on that number.
Hell yeah.
And now it's just a matter of building that and growing it. And obviously, it's something that it's a whole nother ballgame, dude. But you guys are smart waiting. A lot of people are like, I have merch and a Patreon right now.
We
And it's
do
like-
have merch, but like not enough people have been buying it. So like we're not like stuffing it down people's throat. We're like, it's there if you want it. That's why
Yeah,
we're like
yeah,
waiting
and
to
that's-
try to do it.
Nothing against that at all. I'm just, a lot of
No,
people
I know
make a
exactly what you're
Patreon and
saying.
that
Mhm.
happens where they don't get anyone and then they get
Yeah,
super
they're
down on
immediately like
themselves.
money.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I was saying earlier, whereas if you can't create for a year and a half, 2 years, maybe more, like that's minimum too. Like me and Noah are super, super lucky and blessed that we're like where we are
Right.
this soon into it. Like our friend Zach at Blood Moon, he's been doing this for 10 years.
I know.
And he
I
got
know.
monetized like
I know.
a couple
Congrats
days
to
ago.
him too.
Yeah,
Dude, yeah,
I was
for
so
real.
sad
Shout
I
out
missed him at
Zach.
fucking at Ghost Drama. He left literally just before I showed up, and I was
Really?
so fucking
Wow.
sad.
Yeah, he's super cool and like definitely deserves it. But it's like that just goes to show like we are super blessed to be where we are,
Right.
A lot of people
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
happen like that. But you have to, what I'm trying to say is if you to have a Patreon and all that, you really have to be able to create and build up the audience. We could have probably waited another year,
Mhm.
honestly, but like our drive right now to do this full time is through the roof. Like I just want to do it, and theoretically
Right.
it could happen, but it'd just be a little bit scary. And so
Yeah, well, it's like dipping
We're
your
just
toes in
waiting.
and then jumping in.
For me too, it's
Yeah.
like I have a really good job and I make really good money. So
Yep.
and I have like a set, like I'm advancing really fast there. So it's
yeah,
like
it's like giving
how
that
do
up.
I
Yeah, you can't.
just
Mhm.
Yeah,
go off.
It
what
has
I'm
to
doing
make
so
sense
well.
for me to give up what I'm doing now and the career path that I've been
Yeah.
building.
I'm assuming there'll be a time there will I say assuming, but I almost know this for a fact. There will be a time, hopefully in the near future, where something will happen and we'll be like, okay, now we're good, and it will
Would you
like kind
guys
of
sign
know.
a deal with somebody, like say like a publicist or somebody wanted to get you like onto a network or something, but they wanted like say into like some of the creative things and whatnot?
I
Would you
wouldn't do
guys
it.
do that?
No, absolutely not.
We've said the exact
Yeah,
same
that's where we're
thing.
at too. We'd rather stay independent and just do what we want.
Well, you
I
can
want
make more
total
money from
creative
YouTube
control.
anyways. You can make more
Yeah.
money.
Because that's a huge thing for us is like creative control. Like we never have wanted our show to be script based or anything like that. We
No.
wanted it to be an open narrative to where people could just speak their real experiences and tell real stories. And on top of that, us have our like creative ability, like we said. And if you've probably never listened to our podcast. I'm assuming.
There's like 135
yeah.
episodes, so there's a
No,
lot.
I listened to Wolf's today. I listened to
Yeah.
Wolf's episode
Okay,
and
sick.
of a
Thank
few
you.
others. Yeah.
But there's earlier episodes where like we
Mm.
literally created this alter egos, right? He's Rick Van Winkle and I'm Billy.
And they
And-
run a news studio.
And they run a news studio, and for the past 3 years we've been battling with them because they take over our show. And like
It's the running
just
narrative
funny.
throughout the whole series
it's so
of
funny.
shows.
Like we literally have a live stream where we do this thing every 100 episodes called the Bumpy Awards.
Oh fuck! I
And
drank like
because you
10
guys are
shots
guests,
of
you
tequila
will
that
be in the
night.
running potentially to win a Bumpy Award based off this episode if the fans so choose.
Dude,
to
let's
give you one.
go.
So
Better than the Dundies.
yeah, it's basically kind of off the thought of that a little bit, but it was kind of just
That's
like a
sick.
funny idea we had to like.
We did it on a cruise,
Yeah,
but we were not on a cruise. We were in this room.
we just put a green screen that we were putting on a cruise. And,
That's
like,
a cool show lore to have, though.
Yeah.
No, I
alter ego
love
thing.
it.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, it's a good. If you ever have a chance, like have an hour to spare, watch that because it's fucking hilarious. He got.
All right, I got you.
I drank way too much tequila that night, and it was a fucking like Wednesday night, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh my god.
Nice.
But I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball. So, what do you guys think about aliens?
Did you hear the report? Did you hear that the guy that
Yeah,
came
the
forward,
dude
though?
that came out and said he was collecting like unidentified material and
Like,
shit.
that the government literally had all that, dude.
Yep, and that
I
they're
don't know,
trying
that's
to
trippy.
re-engineer the material before any other nation does,
When this
and that's
was-
what this war is this week.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
2 days,
there-
like
he
3
was,
days ago.
I'm behind on my current events.
So
Apparently.
the whistleblower that everybody always talks about, I forget his name. He was the dude that came from the CIA and he worked at Area 51 for a while.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But then another guy has come forth and like all these like random people that are I guess higher up in the governments are confirming like, yeah, no, this dude's job was literally to go pick up this material that was unidentified stuff.
Yeah.
And they said that they've gotten like biological fucking material that is
they
not
have
of this earth.
that they actually have like corpses of dead pilots and stuff.
Yep. And that he's
I don't
coming
know,
forward
man,
because he was like they're not they're not doing something that he asked them to do for him or some bullshit. I don't remember
Mhm.
the exact story, but I was like, huh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I don't that really freaked me out, but like
Oh yeah.
the only thing that I'm wondering is the only thing he has is his story and then the people confirming the story.
Right.
He doesn't have any physical reports, pictures.
Yeah, where
nothing.
it's like if you're gonna
It's like-
leave, take something with
right?
you.
Are they on his
Yeah.
payroll? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly. And it's like I don't know. So to
False
me,
flag narratives
it's
are
like,
real.
yeah, it's like it's hard for me to believe that, but at the same time, he's putting so much at risk.
I know.
It's
Well,
like why would he
also
just
like-
fake that?
So we talked to Bart Sabril, the guy that got punched in the face by Buzz Aldrin.
It's
The
also
guy that
famous for making the
Dude,
moon
you
landing.
talked to him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to interview him.
Bro, what? That's
So
sick.
this guy is fucking
He's out there.
really cool to talk to because his points are really interesting for sure. But
Yeah.
his reason for not showing the evidence that he has that will prove us wrong that they never went to the moon. He's like, I can't show it because it's too valuable that the American population thinks we went there and that I'll be killed or put to death or something. So he's like, I have this, but I'm not going to show it to you, but I might show it to you for the right amount of money. And then you start getting into the like that
Yeah.
thought where it's like, oh, is this guy another kook? And then he starts telling us that he used to be able to move things with his mind and that aliens are angels. And it was a really, really crazy interview.
It is a really crazy
Bro. Yeah, I mean, I think statistically aliens are probably real when
I
when it
think,
comes
like,
down to
if-
a number game.
Yeah, I would say if you're gonna be like scientific and logical about it, like the universe and the galaxies that we can actually see 100% like statistically is going to have a planet that will be able to sustain life.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too enormous to
Mhm.
even like you can't even wrap your brain around any of it. It's just impossible. It's so big. And so it's like, somewhere out there's a planet that's in a Goldilocks zone
Mhm.
around a sun like this one, and water is there, and then the same thing happened there as here. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
The theory
And there's
fucks
been-
me up too, where it's like we can only get so far into space. Like if we were to launch ourselves out into space right now, we will expire before we hit the edge or the horizon of where space ends. We don't know where space ends.
Yeah, well, it's like, like you'll die on the ship and you won't even be anywhere. You'll be not even a grain of sand closer to where you're trying to go in comparison.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
not only that, dark matter is like makes up for what, like 80% of the known universe.
yeah.
And it's like if you can utilize what dark matter is, which is like 20% heavier mass, I want to say, than what the actual mass on Earth
Mhm.
anything is. It's like, there's a lot more to fucking think about than we actually
I'm
know.
pretty sure there's
Yeah.
a scientist out there. He's also a paranormal enthusiast. He's researching the theory that entities, because everyone says, I seen a black mass, that potentially actually could be like a dark matter type situation.
Oh, like it's dark
Wow,
matter
yeah,
appearing in
yeah.
our universe. Dude, that'd be interesting.
Like that's
Well, I
that's how
also-
that's how the energy of the consciousness or the soul appears
like,
later,
appears.
something.
Yeah,
always
something
said
like
too,
that.
like,
I don't know the whole theory.
well, what
I
if
forget where I even heard it from.
Yeah.
I think I
just
might have
some
said
random
something about
video. You
it.
might have even mentioned
Yeah.
it, but
I also heard a theory where it's like, well, you take the dimensions. So it's like you got one dimension, like you see it's flat. And then you got your second dimension. Then you see the two dimensions where it's flat and the upright. And then you keep stacking those on top of each other. Well, we're technically in, I don't even know, like whatever dimension that we're in that we can perceive. Well, then you start stacking the rest of them because there's probably an infinite number of them around us at all times on top of it. What if when we're seeing those beings or having that energy leak through, that's just the other dimension, but it's already always there and just
Yeah.
always permeating around us?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite theories about shadow figures is that it's what you're reduced to after decades or hundreds of years of trying to remember what you look like. And that's all that you can like show yourself as.
Mhm.
Like all you remember is that you were a human form. And so that's all you appear as, I always love that theory. And that's why like
that's good.
sometimes people theorize that these spirit, like, shadow figures are all like mangy and like creepy looking, no
Mhm.
eyes. It's like, because you don't remember after 120 years, do you really, and you have no physical brain, like, can you even remember what you look like? You know?
Right.
And so like over time, these spirits get like worse and worse and worse and worse. And then you have all these shadow figures running around.
Hell yeah.
Just another theory. I don't know. I like that theory.
No, dude.
So,
we
have you
love
guys ever been
busting out paranormal
scratched?
theories. Yeah, because we have one for you.
No,
I've
no.
never been scratched. Nope.
Okay,
We
we
haven't.
have been. I've been one time, and I don't know if you ever have been.
I was choked when I was younger, but
Riley's theory is super fucking
Yeah,
interesting
so-
on what it could be.
so when you say put your hand over a candle, right? You don't have to touch the flame to actually burn yourself. Eventually, the heat will actually burn your skin and leave a mark.
Yeah.
Well, same thing happens if you get electrocuted. You get a burn mark from it. Well, if energy from a spirit is electromagnetic energy, if it was to expand and like create some type of physical energy, if it was to hit you or go across you, it's going to leave a burn mark that can look like a scratch.
Dude, yeah.
And it potentially could even like lead to leaving blood because it's such an intense energy release
Mm-hmm.
that it may be misconceived that a spirit is trying to hurt you because it draws a mark, but it also might be releasing so much energy that just a slight touch.
Nah,
just
bro,
does a lot of damage.
I love that comparison to fire, the candle, or I've never heard anyone.
Or it's like an electrical burn
Or
too.
electrical
Like
burn.
if you get
Yeah.
the energies, like everything's vibrating and it's creating an energy. Well, who's to say that like since it's using the electrical equipment around you to generate its own energy, that it's not literally an electrical burn that you're seeing? Because
Yeah,
I've gotten
exactly.
electrical burns like that before from touching open wires on accident, and it's
right.
like,
If you ever
huh?
worked on like
It's
a
the
car
same
stereo
thing.
or something,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the battery's on, like boom, or you're just charging a car and it sparks you, like it's a burn because it's so
Whoa.
hot.
Dude, I love that because everyone always, even including myself,
Everybody's
is like,
always like, it's a
well,
demon.
Right. And I
Well,
think that's a
yeah.
misconception.
well, not that as well, but what I'm thinking of is just like, how can a ghost scratch you? Like you always want, like, okay, they don't have a physical body. How's that even possible? But that makes sense, dude. That's
Right.
fantastic. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it because like I don't know, there was like a span on YouTube where all the like really big YouTubers were just posting videos of them getting scratched or like having
And
demonic
every
experiences.
fucking
Yeah.
I don't know
thumbnail
what
and
it was,
every
but
title
it
said
was like
demonic.
at the end of the winter, every video coming out was something demonic. Everyone's getting scratched. Well, I don't doubt that they were getting hurt by something, but I don't think it was always demonic intent. Like
Who's to say that if you weren't a malevolent person in your lifetime, that you aren't going to be a bad malevolent person in
right,
death?
if I'm someone in my real
Who
life
say you're
Yeah.
gonna
who's
change?
going to hurt you and leave a mark on you, I'm probably going to do that as a spirit too, like
I'm sure a ton of like
Yeah.
our fans and your guys' fans are also fans of true crime. We also just cover true crime too. I didn't realize how much fucked up shit happens all the time,
Dude,
Yeah.
it's
everywhere.
I had to stop actually. I was going the ghost stuff doesn't affect me. It was affecting Noah for Eric Connor, Epic
Mm.
Paranormal. He calls it spirit sickness or like the paranormal hangover or whatever, where
Yeah.
like the more you investigate, you just get tired and depressed and all this stuff because you're thinking
Yep.
about death and you're going to these horrible places and feeling the energy. But for me, I was on this like true crime phase and I just had to stop, dude. I was
Yep.
watching so many documentaries about like serial killers and I was like freaking out a million times checking that all the doors were locked and I was like going paranoid. I had to
Mhm.
stop. I had to literally stop.
Yeah,
The ghosts don't affect me, but that did, dude.
I've been very fascinated with listening to like what some of these, like I always say, like monsters aren't just what we talk about on the podcast. They're real. Like there's
Yeah.
real fucking monsters out there. And some of the
Yeah, dude.
fucking shit that we've covered and are going to be releasing is like I cannot even explain to you how unfathomable it is for my brain to even comprehend. How do you do that to somebody,
Dude,
let
the
alone like intend
yes.
to?
The thing for me, I was in 7th grade and I was in like a psychology class or something. No, sorry, it was not 7th grade. It was in high school. It was like junior year of high school. And we had to research and do a project on a serial killer. I was assigned to Ed Gein. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, never heard of
God.
him. Never heard of this guy. Let's look him up.
One of
And I
the
was like,
worst.
I could not believe it. I was just like,
Yep.
what the hell? And then
Mhm.
what's the guy? Fish is his last name.
Oh,
Is it Ed Fish? It's not Ed.
is it Robert Fish? No.
Something. I forget. Yeah, but he freaked
can't
me out as
remember
well,
either.
dude.
Yeah, we
But
did
I had to stop, dude. That's when I got into that phase and I just couldn't do it anymore because to me, like, I don't 100% believe in ghosts, but
yeah.
100% serial killers are out there. So,
Yeah.
that's a real thing. And so
Do you
Yeah.
that
think we
scared
may
me.
have found the like first documented like serial killer in
That
history?
outdates H.H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper.
Dude, I was just about to mention them, bro. Who'd you find? Is it like that chick? There's like a girl.
Frederick Holloman. Probably one you've
Where
never heard of.
Where
But
was he at?
he
He's
was at one
from
point
where
in
I'm
Grand
from.
Haven.
He's from here, but he ended up
From
moving
there where
to,
you live?
Yep.
Yeah, it
Bro.
was like 18.
I don't remember the
Early
exact dates. It was
18
super, super early.
It's like 2 years before
Before the Ripper
H.H.
cases
Holmes
and H.H.
Dude.
Holmes and stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. And
up
like
in
he was an
Michigan.
immigrant from Germany and he was like big burly dude. I want to say he killed like 4 women or something like that. And then when he was put to death, he was put to death in what? Illinois?
And the weird thing about him, bro, is so when they sentenced him to death, he demanded that he builds his own gallows.
And there's a picture
And-
of him working on his own gallows.
He's standing on the
That's
gallows
weird.
with a Bible in his hand. And he's also the one that like let the string go too. So like
He was his own
like,
executioner.
he
What the
executed
hell?
himself publicly in front of the town, and they cut off his head and sent his brain to the
Mhm.
University of Illinois for study, and it's still there to this day. And they just dumped his body in an unmarked location.
His family is buried here
what?
in Grand Haven.
His wife and daughter are buried here in Grand Haven somewhere.
Bro,
It's
you guys
unmarked.
need to do like a
Wow.
documentary and figure out where that body is and stuff, dude. Can you imagine if you like somehow
I
figure it out?
know. That would be so
That'd be
insane.
wild.
Dude,
And-
I was gonna sorry, no, go ahead. 'cause
You're
this is off
good.
topic.
And like it's just wild too because we were looking like it was so wild how we came across it because we were just looking up like most prolific serial killers in Michigan because we were like, I wonder.
And you
it
found
was-
it's your hometown.
Yeah, and like oh shit, like that one's from Grand Haven. And then we found out that one of the worst like it was like the first ever terrorist attack basically happened here in Michigan. It was the Bath school bombing where like 56 children were killed by like somebody who put dynamite in the basement.
Bro, what? Is
Yeah,
there any
and-
is there any building near there today?
But there's a plaque, but they say
There's a
like you
plaque.
go there and like at night or like during the day and you'll hear like the screams of the children and shit and like the explosion. And it's like,
Bro,
oh my
what?
fucking god. And this is all just like blowing my mind while we're going
Oh my
through the list
god,
of
dude. I
stuff.
did not know this about Michigan, dude.
Yep. And then Seth
a
Pravaki
dark-
was another one that we covered that was wild, where it was like he tried to escape prison in a fucking stolen semi truck, and then he got caught up in the second fence and jumped out and got shot to death while he's trying to run away. and he was
Whoa.
put in there because he killed his whole family on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's dude. There's some fucking wild stories.
We even have
Yeah,
personal
dude.
stories that we've never actually shared. But
Think
like
about
on
how
the
it's
podcast.
happening right now somewhere
Mhm.
in a million different places.
Oh, it is 100% too. It's just what they like to
things that
cover
people
on
can't
news.
comprehend, dude. That's just how the
Mhm.
world is. But dude, have you heard the connection that H.H. Holmes is Jack the Ripper?
I've
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah, I've heard the draw the correlation
they're getting
because
closer
he
to
was
figuring
super
that out.
smart. and
Yeah,
he was eccentric
that
as fuck.
always has intrigued me for some reason. And like, so I guess he went to England,
Yep.
and then the murderers over here stopped, but then they
And then when he
started
came
up
back
over
to the
there,
World Fair,
and then when he comes back,
mhm,
Jack the Ripper killings stop over there. But like the description, like the one girl who saw him, maybe it like
right?
matches H.H. Holmes like exactly. Dude, it's crazy. I
Yeah,
hope they
it's
figure that
super
out.
They do look
interesting.
Dude,
really
that would
similar.
be. Can you like, dude? It's like it's not a legacy you want to leave behind, but like
No,
We've
two,
even
to be
theorized
two,
that
one guy
it
is
was
two of the
Mm.
most famous serial killers of all time. That's crazy. That would be
Yeah.
insane.
But
Well,
what
just think if
what
you were the guy to figure that out too. If you're like, I'm the one that drew the line there.
Yeah, like you find a letter or something, you know, whatever it is, and you
like the
prove
missing
it.
piece.
What if
Yeah.
Frederick Coleman is Jack the Ripper?
See,
and-
that would
and
also be
H.H.
fucking
Bro, there you go.
wild.
There's the documentary. Now you got to find his. You got to do all that stuff and film the whole thing. Figure it out.
I gotta find Netflix's producer's fucking number.
Yeah, you're calling Netflix after the show, dude. You're gonna be.
Like fucking wild as shit. But yeah, I mean, there's like so much. Like we have a retired USS submarine, the Silver Sides, that's literally
Dude,
right
yep,
up the road
Yep,
from us.
I've been to the Silver. Is that the one? That's not the one in Muskegon, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's on
It
Fair
is
Marquette.
Lake.
Mhm.
Yeah, we. I messaged them and they wouldn't
poo
let
pooed
us.
it real quick.
We only know one
Yeah,
person who's been
we
in
only
there.
do huge groups and Boy Scouts. And I'm like, what
Well,
about
when
two of
we-
us and we pay the full price? No,
we
we
asked
can't.
them
I'm
the
like,
same
"Oh."
thing, and then the new director was from the Queen Mary,
Yep.
and they were like,
What?
no, yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
new director
director's
came from the Queen Mary.
So
and
he
now
he
they're
must
like,
not
we're
want to be.
doing it.
He must not want to deal with that.
And that's why the Queen Mary, when he left and came to the submarine, that's why Queen Mary started doing paranormal investigations again. We lined
Bro,
all
for
this up.
real.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and my
this guy
wife
is,
heard
like,
a
messing
Wendigo
this
down
all
there
up.
too.
Yeah, because our friend Danny, who's been on the show before, has investigated many times, and he
The
said
Silver
it's
Sides or the
insane.
Queen Mary?
Oh yeah,
The Silver Sides.
the
He's also
Silver
done the
Sides.
LST in Muskegon too.
yeah.
He said we
The
can go
LST is the
on
big
LST.
D-Day ship, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the other one. I was just about to message someone because we went there. No, that's the boat we went on with Logan and stuff. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's got
The
all the
LST.
memorabilia and all
Yeah,
that
dude,
shit
it's
on
crazy. But we were walking around and I was like, bro, this has got to be haunted.
Dude, I had an
100%.
experience there. That's literally a memory that I forgot
No,
about.
you
dude.
didn't. No, you
I
didn't,
swear
bro.
to God, dude. It was
Share
just
it.
me and Logan.
Here, can you guys give me like 1 minute?
Yeah.
I'll
give me one
tell
story.
I'll tell the story. All right. Well, we were at the boat, right? Wait. So you guys have been there?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
live
we're
like
from
2 minutes
Muskegon.
away from it.
Dude, that's like that's crazy. We went on a whole like week-long trip for our Boy Scout thing, like
Yeah.
3 years
Jake was
ago.
getting that before we went
That's so
live.
fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, it was a bunch of us, obviously, but it was just like me, my friend Logan, Jake, and one of his friends. We were kind of just venturing ourselves,
Mhm.
looking around and whatnot. And we were in like one of these corridors by like a room, and I've never seen a figure like investigating, but
Yeah.
I swear I was like recording it just like to get the memories and whatnot.
Right.
And I recorded it, and I swear, dude, I saw a freaking figure like go into a room. It was the weirdest thing
Yeah,
ever.
I believe you. Danny has a video of that from years
Mhm.
ago when he investigated it, and it was basically the same thing.
They also caught like radio signals that should not have made it off the boat because of the way that the hull is protected and supposed to work.
Oh,
He's got
wow.
crazy evidence.
Yeah,
from
there's
both
tons of
those-
fucking crazy
both of
shit.
those
No,
spots.
no. What was the gist of your? What did you see? Just like real quick.
I was recording, and me and Logan were walking down one of the hallways by like the rooms and whatnot with the weird doors. And Logan and I literally thought we saw like a person walk into the room, and we never like classified it as being a ghost because we walked in there and we were kind of like confused, like really confused, like whenever you have an experience and whatnot. But we thought we saw someone walk into that room, like just somebody like touring.
Bro,
the
that's
boat.
weird, dude.
I swear
I've
you
had
can ask Logan this if you want.
Were
It's
you filming?
crazy, dude. Yeah, no, I mean I was, but I didn't capture it.
Okay,
I wish I got it,
dude. But so someone's investigated that.
Yeah, what
Danny
the
Do
did.
dude that
they do
married me.
investigations?
Yeah, the dude that married him, Danny, and the guy who also hosts Ghostorama.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if
Sweet,
you
dude.
want to hear about that place, dude, we literally talked about it for like an hour.
Yeah, with
when
our
we-
interview with Danny, we talked about it for so fucking long.
Yeah, 'cause
Dude,
it's
I would
just
love
so
to, dude.
crazy.
I want to investigate a ship or a lighthouse so bad, man. My brain
Lighthouse,
is
for sure.
like Great Lakes brain. Like it, dude. I love the Great Lakes. The
I love
stories
all
are
the
There's so
history.
many
creepy.
stories. So many
Dude.
stories.
I
The
want to go
logging
up to
industry
the
too is so cool.
dude. Yeah, the yeah. I was where was I? Oh God, I think it was well first first of all the damn it, I can't think what the ship's called. There's a ship in is it Saint Saul Marie? What's the city called?
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie. I always mix up the
Dude, it's also like hard as fuck to say it fast.
yeah Sault Ste. Marie. But they have a ship there. What I don't remember what it's called.
Oh
But
fuck, I know what you're talking about.
I want
too.
to,
like
but that
Mackinac or
it's
something.
where the Edmund Fitzgerald was supposed to dock, and then the Edmund Fitzgerald's like the story about the Edmund Fitzgerald and it sank and killed all these people in the 70s. It's just a crazy story, dude. I want to go there so bad, so bad.
I think Danny did say that we would be able to go investigate down there. So like we definitely should
LST?
try to pull the strings to get into the LST. Because I
Bro,
think
if-
the people that own the LST are different from the people that are the owners of the silver
Okay.
sites too. So
Dude, if you can pull that off,
Oh my god, dude, I would
give
be
us
there
a call,
tomorrow.
bro. I will-
that would be fucking sick. Yeah,
Definitely.
me and him were literally just talking. We're like, I want to collab with them really bad. Like that'd be so
Bro,
much fun.
that'd be
Because like
sick,
your
dude.
videos
That's the
are
perfect
literally
place.
exactly what we had in mind for our videos, but we're just terrible at recording ourselves.
Nah, it takes a minute. It definitely does. But we were bad at
I
first
mean,
too.
my wife also like another Wendigo story is she heard a bunch of things down on that shoreline near like the Muskegon coast, like while she was doing snow removal down there, where she was hearing like laughing at 3 a.m. and like just weird howling sounds and like would see like just like weird eyes looking back at her in the middle of the fucking winter
Oh,
where
dude,
it's
I
like
think,
shit shouldn't be
I
out
think
there.
everywhere
No.
on the lakeside is haunted. Like there's
Oh,
so
I-
much shit that's
yes,
Dude,
happening.
100%.
Dude, the Little Sable Lighthouse. That's like it's right there at the state park. Actually it's just north of the state park, I think.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. They took us there for a
it's
field trip
it's
and when we were
red.
kids.
It's
Yeah, and
red
we went
brick.
up in it and everything.
That's where we used to go with my family every year. And that's like this tattoo is for my grandpa. And
I love that.
I want to get another one of the lighthouse because that was like his favorite spot. My grandma's entire house was like themed off of that one lighthouse, and like it was his favorite place. And so I would love. I mean, I would do anything to invest. I would pay $3,000 plus to investigate that place. I would figure it
So-
out somehow.
There has to be a way for us to get in touch too with somebody in Montague. Because so the Mouth Cemetery where we've caught some of our best evidence. There is a captain there. When he was done captaining, he decided he wanted to live out his days doing the lighthouse, and he lived in the lighthouse till the day he died. Basically, We have,
Which
like-
lighthouse
Oh, it's in Montague. I don't remember the exact name of it.
is it? It's not the White River Light Station, is it?
I don't. I'd have to
That's
look it
probably
up.
it.
I'd
That's
have to
probably
look
it.
it up.
Because the White River's like right by the
But
White
they-
River is the only one I know, the White River Light Station,
Mhm.
that I knew at the time as a kid was reported to be haunted.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah, and so like
the
I
same.
know for a fact too, like there's like a big correlation between his gravesite and that lighthouse because he stays there at the lighthouse, they say. So it's like I want to fucking figure out who I can get in touch with to talk to about that because it's like we can show them the evidence we caught at Mouth. Riley might even be able to show you some of the shit that we've caught where it's like we caught two full body apparition pictures. And one is like a person in like full Victorian garb, like
Where did you capture this?
Mouth Cemetery in
Cemetery.
Montague.
Okay,
Michigan.
the cemetery. Okay, gotcha.
we
You can pull up the video and we can show the video part of it. Sick.
Do it, bro. Of the
So-
shadow figure?
Yeah, and then there's
the
also
apparition?
did you get the the body picture in there too?
It's in there, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Dude, have you heard of as you're pulling it up, have you heard of the USS Edmund? I think
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah,
it's on the opposite. It's on the eastern side in the whatever you
Mhm.
call the bay there.
The
That's
Great
another
Lakes.
ship. You can go there, but it's like $1,200,
All
I
right,
think.
can we see?
Whew.
We can't see the
Yeah.
screen now, so.
So can you guys see it?
Yep, we're good.
Annie? I think so.
Make that bitch big.
So yeah, we're just like walking around the cemetery here, trying to get some like photos before we
What?
left.
It's super overgrown and eerie at night.
Oh, just
Yeah, dude, that looks creepy as shit.
couldn't remember.
All the tombstones and everything are all washed out, but like the
Like,
earliest graves are like
You
early
watch here,
1800s,
we get these red lights.
and there's nothing out there.
These summaries are so nice.
We apparently didn't get. I didn't know that after.
Because I was seeing red lights
Hey,
before that
Kanye.
too.
Friends to all. Love you. Jeez.
I promise the pictures come soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Just setting the
Mhm.
mood.
Oh yeah, Jenna said, "Can we leave?"
Well,
That's my wife.
these are the
That scared
sticks
me.
everyone
That
talks
scared
about.
me.
They're
Oh my
placed
God.
weird. All right,
Just yelling at us.
Jenna wants to leave.
And the reason why was
That's
fucked
it,
up.
folks. For real this time.
So like, you can kind of see it on the left side of the frame. And then the next picture.
Oh, whoa. The shadow.
Yep, it's like it moves across the frame.
True, but it would like
You did two different pictures.
I've had good battery for like
This is another time
Every
we came
night.
back.
all right. Well, this has been What Goes Bump in the Night.
I'm Riley Clark.
I'm Trevor Jensen. And stay frosty, folks.
Stay frosty.
Frosty. And remember to keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes.
The catchphrase.
Bump of the night.
These are just some photos, but like this one.
That one right there.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
It's a fucking person, but not a person.
We didn't see this.
That is a
till
literal ghosty.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
it's
like
got feet, hands, a head,
Yeah.
shoulders.
that's what I was like. I honestly think we caught a full body apparition from
Oh
the
my
parking lot
God,
looking
dude.
back at us after the investigation.
It looks like it's like wearing blue.
Yeah, or it's like wearing like a
Oh,
dress
dress.
almost that's flowy. It looks to
Oh
me
my
like
God,
with
you're
big
right.
shoulder pads, and you can like see the hands are
Bro,
almost
yes,
open
the
a little
puffy.
bit.
I was gonna
What's
say it
even
looks like a
creepier
football
is this
player.
looks like
Yes, the
10
puffy
yards
shoulder
long.
pad.
Yep, and I was not that far away from like
Dude,
where
that's-
that picture was taken.
That's Matthew Stafford, dude, right there.
100%. When we were there, we were saying that's
Megatron.
Megatron.
There he
Like, and I
is.
said to the group, they were like, "That's Megatron." I was like,
There
"You
he
guys,
is.
For,
that's
like,
fucking evidence."
days.
Dude, you should have just brought a foot. You got to go back and bring a football and be like,
I
just
think
throw
the
it out there, see what
files
happens.
Literally saved this Megatron photo.
Yeah,
That's
it literally
hilarious.
saved as Megatron. But yeah, that's some of the craziest shit that we've caught. And like we had a fucking milligauss spike on our what is it called? K2 meter?
Millimeter.
Millimeter. And it was the equivalent to a nuclear bomb going off. It jumped up to like 300 milligauss for a second real quick, and I was like, I've never seen it go above 20.
Wow.
Bro, what?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we were in the
dude,
middle of the
this-
fucking woods.
this
Yeah,
place
that's the thing. Is
electric.
like in a building, it's one thing because there's wires and all that, but out
Yep.
in the woods, that's
We
That's
also
different.
found out that there was 2 different tribes of Native Americans that were said to be like inhabiting the land there,
Mhm.
and that one of the tribes poisoned the entire other tribe's water and they killed them off that way.
What the hell?
And that
This is
it had to
documented.
have been extremely close to where Mouth is because it's like it's on the water. Like Mouth is pretty close to the shoreline as well.
Uh-huh.
Like it's primo like encampment. Like
Yeah,
it's
dude.
the stories that we found out after the fact are so fucking wild.
Yeah, there's so many legends at this
There's
place.
there's
too,
a
like-
folklore that's going around too that there's a chair that a mad scientist that lived on the property next door had put out there, and he was into like the occult and black magic ritual shit, and that he cursed the
he wrote
chair.
paranormal psychology books.
And that the chair was cursed, and one of the kids that had sat in the chair a year to the day that he sat in it died in a car accident. So they
Wow.
had to take the chair. The county had to go and take the chair out of the cemetery.
Wow, dude. What?
And then there was also folklores that were like, if you go in there and you play with the well, or you drink the water from the well, you're gonna be attached by like something evil. Well, the first time I ever went there, when I wasn't paranormal investigating, I was just fucking around. I was like playing with the water spigot, but at that time it was disconnected. And when I went to leave, I had 3 massive scratches down my back, and I didn't run into
Bro.
anything. And I was like, "That's fucking weird." I was like, I'm
Definitely,
not one
dude.
to usually just like throw like the
It's like, yeah,
can't
whatever.
explain it thing out there.
That's the thing that's super weird in Michigan is like the cemetery hauntings are so much crazier and wide known than any
What
of
it
the like
sounds like.
residential hauntings.
Everybody
but,
in
like,
the
you
area
don't-
knows Mouth
Yeah,
too.
everyone knows the legends around here.
You don't really hear about many haunted places in Michigan, honestly. Like
No, never.
Mackinac Island, some of the boats.
A lot of the
Fucking-
northern like UP stuff I've like
Dude,
is what
UP
you
is
hear about. Which
God,
that's
bro.
the primo spot, but also we're
Yeah.
not that fucking far up.
Yeah, dude. But and then also Eloise, I just saw Eric is in the
Mhm.
chat, bro. Eric is here. What's
Eric's
up, Eric?
here.
Eric's here, bro. Check him out, dude. Eric was just at Eloise like 2 days ago, I think. 3
No
days ago.
shit. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know
We
what he
went
got. I
when it
haven't
was
talked
like
to him yet.
-5.
Yeah,
and it was
so
burr.
cold.
Bro, yeah. I don't know, man. I love winter investigations. For
It's
some reason,
definitely
they
fun
always
because
are.
a lot less like the time that you get to investigate during the summer is way more open. But then in the wintertime, we always hibernate because there's just not as much to do.
Yeah, but they're always freezing cold, so that's
Oh yeah, it
that's the
sucks
one
when
bad
you're
thing.
like
It's
I have
just
to wear 20 layers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
4th
no
floor
power.
Eloise.
We have no power. Go sit in your car, warm up for like 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, there's been plenty of times where you have to do that. It's just like, all right, let's go to the
I'm
car for a
sure.
little bit. Let's go to the car.
We used to just stand in front of like the propane heaters that they would bring, and I mean like I would literally like stick my foot inside of it and be like, dry,
You
I need to
melted
go
your
back
shoe.
out.
Oh!
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I literally melted the rubber on my shoe because I was like, we got to get back out there, bro.
Bro.
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Do you guys think weather affects evidence that you catch? So like more or less, so like while we were doing our mouth investigation, we caught some of the best evidence ever. It was heat lightning, and it was like it seemed like the perfect storm had aligned for us. No rain, lots of lightning. It was like a comfortable heat, like not
Mhm.
terrible. And I was like, I
It was a
wonder if this
very,
has a factor to play in it.
like,
Dude, I want to ask Eric. Eric, have you discovered anything about temperature? Because like he keeps track of like the moon phase, temperature,
Oh, really?
all this stuff. Yeah, like for his investigations, and so
Wait,
he always says the 3 days before and after a full moon are like the most active for EVPs and things, and that's exactly what we found. Every
no
time we've
shit.
investigated with him, and it's within that time frame.
I have a
It is
question for
crazy.
Eric too. So the 4th floor, was that the geriatric floor? Because I'm pretty sure that was the floor we left the
oh
duck
yeah, I
on.
did get my butt touched on that floor. I forgot. I literally got full on ass grabbed on that
Yeah,
floor.
and like I'm pretty sure, was that not the floor we used the duck on, where we got the
Yeah.
15 minutes of activity where it was
Yeah.
turning it on and off?
If that's a psychiatric
Because if it
floor,
is, that's fucking crazy. Like now we have
that-
to go to Eloise.
That'd
that
be
floor
interesting. Yeah.
was fucking insane. Most haunted location I'd probably ever like been in.
We also saw like an explosion of light in the basement in one of the rooms
Yeah.
that was completely concrete. And we were like, what the
Mhm.
fuck was that?
Yeah, there's Eric, bro. I agree with him in the winter. That's what I was getting at. Is every time we investigate in the winter, things are more active, and then they quiet down all summer. Every single time, dude.
Did you happen to see a duck?
Yeah, was there a little rubber duck on the 4th floor?
It
Because
went up high.
yeah, we set it on like top of one of the exit signs, I
Oh, you
believe.
just left it. You left it there.
Yeah, because they were the
Nice.
spirits were playing with
They
it, and we
loved
were
it
like,
so
all
much we
right,
had to
like
leave it for
the
'em.
tour guide
Uh-huh.
said they would leave it up there and everything too. It's like, man, that'd be fucking sick.
Dude, but yeah, Eric's also proven his point there with the rain. Every time it's rained, like when we went to the Stone Mansion stuff, it's
Story
been
Inn.
pretty damp for some reason.
Mhm.
That dampens
Story
things
Inn, dude.
down. But yeah, dude, the Story Inn, there was a huge thunder lightning storm. And dude, this place, the reason I like it so much is it is in the middle of nowhere. It is probably a 30-minute drive from any city, town, anything. Dude, imagine if the duck is in
Dude, that'd be
Eric's live
fucking
stream.
awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
I mean, I'm 6'1", and there was nobody else in our group that could reach it. So like, I jumped up and put it on like the highest thing I could get it on, and I was like, nobody's stealing this duck.
We also thought it would be
Bruh.
kind of a funny spook factor, like someone's in their paranormal investigation,
And then it just
there's a
starts
duck
fucking
just
flashing.
going
The
off.
duck just going. Yeah, that'd be good.
It'd be good. But anyways, like we probably should wrap it up.
We can always do
Yeah.
this again.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
definitely can
Part 2,
do
baby.
this again.
Yeah, I mean,
Part
2
2.
hours is definitely a long time.
You know,
Yeah.
like I think we gotta come up with a location or something. I think that'd be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I'm going
Yeah.
to like, because me and Riley literally were just saying like we have to come up with a location soon to do that we know would be epic. And I think if I can talk to Danny and then see who he gets in touch with to do the LST, that's one that I would love to do because
I'll
World War
do-
II
I'll do
stuff
anything
is
to
always
go
so
to the-
fucking
I'll do
awesome
that,
to me.
dude.
We've never done. Think about it, like you can't do a World War II thing unless you're on a boat or across the ocean. There's just
Right.
nowhere else, and so that would be really really interesting to do. And the whole time I was on that boat, it was broad daylight. We were on just like this trip, and I wasn't really thinking about ghosts, but like I couldn't shake the thought like that I wasn't like I was being followed.
Mm,
People were looking at me. It was weird.
that's so. I
So,
love
dude,
it.
if you, I'll do some research too and see, because if we could get on that boat, that would be insane.
because it seems like they're perceptive to it at least. So like if I can talk to the
Yeah.
right people, so and then I mean Danny was talking that he does it like at least once a year is what it sounded like. So I was like, well, fuck, dude, like get
Wow,
us
if
in
they're-
there.
Yeah, if they're letting him do that, it's like, yeah, let's hop in there. It's only gonna bring them more people, you know.
Yeah, and that's what we literally always say is like we want
Yeah.
to bring the publicity to the places first and foremost, the
Yep.
history, like their well-being, and if they're doing any renovations for the place, like they need funding, obviously, and it's
They
like
need
I'd
funding,
much
so they
rather
need people to come in and donate and do all
exactly,
the
I'd
stuff.
much
Yeah.
rather them get the publicity than even just be like, it's haunted, don't come here, it's scary. No, be like,
That's
this is
yes.
this is the place, dude. It's cool.
The museum in our hometown that we figured out was haunted and things. By the way, after that shadow figure, we went and investigated. We got a piano playing by itself on camera,
Oh,
like straight up, dude, straight up.
Mozart's The Fifth Symphony.
Yeah, can you imagine? And then yeah, we got hissed at multiple times. Noah has
Mhm.
been what I think is attacked there. It is crazy haunted, and my dad's a part of the board, and I keep telling him, and we're working on getting tours opened up so people can go.
I love that.
Because I just told him,
That's so
like, dude,
much.
what's it gonna do besides bring people in? Like, for real, it's just gonna bring
Yep.
more eyes on your location. It's gonna make, it's a county museum. No one really cares unless there's some story, outside of this is Huntington County history. If there's a story of it being haunted or things, suddenly you have this entire subsect of the population that now wants to come.
Yeah, I
spend
was
their
saying
money,
now
and
it's
they'll
tourist
spend good money.
attraction.
Exactly, yeah. And so we're gonna try to get tours going soon. I think there's a few people that are gonna come film soon, so it'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see what happens. The more people come in.
I
right.
love
Will
it.
it make things pick up or will it shut things down?
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll pick things
Mhm.
up because I think it doesn't like when people are there. I don't know, man. That place is weird, bro. I still don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on there. It's
Hell yeah.
Noah like will not go back. I have to like drag him in there to go back. Like he refuses. And he's not like that, dude. He's usually like, "Oh, I don't care. It's whatever. I'm not
Yeah,
scared."
me and Riley usually are like, where are we going next? Let's run at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
really been
wish-
super spooked yet, honestly.
I always tell myself this in my head. If something happens or I see something, I just have to sprint at it as fast as I can and get over there. Because who does that? Who sees a figure or hears a bang and instead of like freaking out, just goes pew and runs there? Like no one does that. And so,
Yeah,
Mhm.
dude,
but it's impossible
try to
for me.
tackle it.
It's impossible for me. I can't do it. I'm too scared. I really can't, bro. I'm so scared of ghosts.
I always say like fight or flight. I'm gonna be like fight as fuck, and then I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
You
dude.
gotta
I'm
run.
gonna have
That's
the one
exactly right,
experience
dude.
where
That's
I-
100%
I
right.
just book it.
Oh yeah.
100% right.
But this has been a fucking blast. You guys are epic as shit. Like
Yeah,
my
dude, you
new
guys
motto
too.
is be epic and do epic shit.
Stay epic, boys.
So it's like you guys are
Be
living the
Be
best.
epic.
I
That's
fucking love
that's
it.
Eric's outro is stay epic.
I fucking love
Hell
it.
yeah.
That is so great. But we'll definitely be doing this again. I definitely think a collab is definitely something that we're going to be working on in the near future for
Dude,
sure.
let's do it. We had Michigan spot. Let's do it. We haven't done Michigan yet, so
Hell
for
yeah.
our channel. So let's get
We'll
it going.
we'll pop your Cherries channel, and then hopefully we can get into some of the bigger name stuff that we've been trying to push for since we've been like doing this too. So I mean, I'd
Yeah,
say
dude.
hey, like we're starting to throw our weight around a little bit, and I think people are finally starting to realize like we're not just like little kids not taking it seriously anymore.
Well,
You know?
dude, the thing is, you keep posting all these like the little
Mm.
promos you do, and it's like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know
Yep.
him. Oh, I know him. And then so suddenly you're like a known name.
Yeah, I've had people
around
come
it.
up to me
It's
now and be
wild.
like, "You're from the podcast, right? Or from the YouTube?" And it's like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, that's a
Like,
weird feeling, man. That
Oh,
happened to
yeah.
us twice in Gettysburg, dude. It was really weird. It's again weird in a good way, but it's like so cool.
It's
like,
surreal as
wow.
fuck.
Yeah,
Dude. Yeah,
it
it's
is
like
brutal.
it's hard to wrap your brain around it because
It
like as a
humbled
regular,
me real quick.
yeah, dude, for real. It's like okay, there's real people that care about what we're doing,
Mm,
and so like we have to keep doing it. We can never stop. We can't
Yep.
do it. Yeah.
That's validated it for us too. Is like once somebody that we've never met from Texas had like been so enthusiastic about receiving like our like Divic box that we put together as a
Mhm.
gift for being like a listener and like part of our
Yeah, we
our
put
night
a bunch
crew.
of like crazy
Uh-huh.
stuff in it. Like we made voodoo doll and
Yeah,
like put it in there.
a card
I
game and
literally came
everything
up with
for
a
him.
card
Wow.
game
Mm,
based on the lore of our podcast. Sent him an entire deck with a play instruction and like we sent him a bunch of stickers
Yep.
and like
And he
Well, dude,
opened it with his family, and dude, I watched that video, and I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. I was like, "That's amazing," and he
Dude,
was
I'll tell you what,
so
man.
nice.
That's what you have to do. Eric does it. We do it. I know Clayton does it. If Clayton's still watching, you have to connect with your people like that.
Mm,
And the people who do that with their fans and the people who care about the content they're making, those are the creators where I'm like, okay, you're gonna make it. You're gonna do fantastic in this
Mm.
because you actually show that you care about the people that are watching. So
Yeah,
It's
they're
important.
taking time out of their busy schedules to give us
Exactly.
that time.
exactly,
we actually
exactly.
do have to do something tonight. Now that we are on this topic.
Yeah,
About
that's
giving back.
exactly what I was alluding to.
So at Ghostorama, we had a paper out and people signed up to win a free T-shirt. So we drew a name.
Whoa,
and
let's go.
That name is
Rachel Struble. I'm going to be emailing you about the T-shirt probably this week. Ow, ow!
So
Rachel, let's
congratulations.
go.
Hell yeah! And it's one of the new what do you call it? Fuck, I can't
I don't
remember what
know
it's
what
called.
you're trying to
Art
talk about.
art thingies.
Oh yeah, it's
New
our newest
design, new
T-shirt.
design.
Yeah, new
Yeah.
design. Yeah,
It's been out for a little
Brain.
bit, but it's sick. It's basically the new like logo that we have. That's like the AI art.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So
Dude, hell yeah, dude.
got that logo on
Let's
it.
go.
Sick.
hell, fucking
We each
yeah.
own one too. So
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, but where can you find them, Riley?
you can find them in all of the links down below. Of course, always there provided for you.
Find that spicy shit down there.
Yeah.
That's a
Check
spicy
out all
meatball.
of their videos, most definitely. If you like them, definitely sign up for their Patreon and get that exclusive content. And remember, folks, to keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes.
Bump in the night.
Peace.
You got the